Welcome to Cranky Live Sports Talk, where passion meets action.
Hey sports fans, I am Cranky, and this is the Cranky Live Sports Talk, the podcast where we dive deep into the hottest topics, the biggest games, and the most controversial moments in sports.
Whether it's football, basketball, track and field, cricket, or soccer, we've got you covered with expert analysis, insider interviews, and unfiltered opinions.
Join me as I chat with the biggest names in sports, get exclusive insights and stories you won't hear anywhere else.
Cranky Live Sports Talk is where you can hear the real talk, the hard-hitting questions, and the hottest takes.
So, if you're a true sports fanatic, you don't want to miss out? Subscribe now to the Cranky Live Sports Talk on YouTube and hit that bell icon to never miss an episode.
Cranky Live Sports Talk, where sports come alive. Subscribe today.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Bless up, everyone. You can see I'm here trying to get myself together. Good night, everyone. Good night, good night. Welcome to the Cranky Live Sports Talk, where we talk sports, but we also talk other matters, not just sports. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. And we have a lot to talk about this evening. So how is everyone doing? I know you can't really hear me. We'll do enough, if you guys would like enough calling tonight, because I think that makes a lot of sense, actually. Let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clear. I have a lot I want to talk about, and you're the audience, and I would love to get your perspective. By the way, as you're coming people, I just said about poll, the poll thing to ask if you're a subscriber, if you hit the like button, but somebody's not popping up, so I've got to check and see what I'm doing wrong. Featals, I'm checking primarily. Joel Smith, Lulu, bless up everyone, bless up. Thanks for being here. I guess I can see the thumbnail when I talk about what we do to qualify for the World Cup. But before we jump into all of that, we have other things we want to talk about before we get there. But I'm gonna let people come in first. And so this evening, I'll get miserable again. No, I'm not gonna do this. I've been told by some that I need to manage how I communicate in the context of some people are saying they don't speak the patois and they're not from Jamaica and they can't fully comprehend what I'm saying. So I will speak patois throughout the conversation, but it's going to be managed going forward since my audience seems to be somewhat expanding a little bit. And everybody in Jamaica can understand English, but not everybody can understand patois. So even though I've been told that in the past that I'm speaky spokey, whatever that entails, I am going to try to speak English. So all the people who watch my program can grasp what I'm saying, because some words in patois don't really translate easily to the English language. But a lot of them, depends on how you speak it, actually. So you guys will have to bear with me. I've been told before I don't speak enough patois. I think I've gone from one extreme to the next. So it's good to have awareness and realize that. I'm being told that you have to put it back somewhat. So I appreciate that. Here's the first thing I want to talk about. By the way, people, I'm going to watch the likes and the attendance like a hawk tonight. I do want to put up the poll so I don't have to be having this conversation every single show. And you hear more and more people doing it. Right. I totally disagree with Nitro on this one, people. I think Nitro is just, putting my string, whatever people want to call it. I do think I speak patois as well as anybody else who speaks patois. I don't agree with that comment, actually. So as you guys some of you may have known, I've gotten aware of a number of radio stations in Jamaica, right? At least I shouldn't say a number, a few of them that are very focused on sports. They have sports program in their shows. So I've called into a couple of them within the last month, I would say. Because when I was working, I wasn't aware of these programs. Nor would I have time to call into this program, right? Nor would I have time to call into these programs. So I have been doing that of late. And today I did call into, I think it's KLAS. It's KLAS, it's FM radio station. But here's my problem with calling to radio programs in Jamaica. I got to allocate a budget too if I want to keep doing this. I may stop doing it. So you call into the program. Someone may or may not answer the phone. A lot of times it just rings or it even gets busy. And then you may hang up or you may hold on. And it may ring for a while. Somebody picks up, right? And then they say it. So for one station, it's busy or it rings, nobody picks up. And when they pick up, you go on hold and then you may not hear nothing for a while. And then you may hear the person, the moderator in the background speaking, which means you may go on next or two persons down. Or you may call another station and they would pick up, but then they would put you on this automated voicemail, which basically says, we appreciate you being here. Thanks for being here. And then they will basically say, oh, we appreciate your time, blah, 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 whatever, right? And you sit there. And let me just check my phone. Today, I think I was on for 20 minutes. Now, people are going to say, Cranky, you're cheap. I think about money in the butt. It's 25 cents per minute, I think, in the US. So it's $1 for every 4 minutes. So if you're on for 20 minutes, that equates to money. If you call every other day, it adds up. You have to have a budget for that place. But that's not my problem. What I think, and I did say to the person who I spoke to today, I'm trying to remember what his name is. I did say to him that I have a suggestion for him. And when you say that to people in Jamaica, maybe I'm just getting information which is not there. I just get the sense that, I wouldn't say there was an annoyance, but it's almost like, okay, we have no. Because that view when you probably call from a different perspective or whatever it is, maybe a different location, it may not be received well. I didn't know if the person was offended. It didn't come across as offended, but I got the question, what is it you're talking about? And I didn't say I'm cranky initially when I first called. I said subsequent to the conversation. And what I want to say to the person and those registered in Jamaica is, you could have a process because they don't have WhatsApp, right? I don't think they have business WhatsApp, so you can't call free. And there's a lot of radio stations across the globe. In some radio station, for example, you have to pay and they may get some of the receipts from it. Point I'm trying to make is this, what they probably should do, and remind me of going to a doctor's office, and I complain to the doctors a lot about this. You go to the doctor's office, you see one department, they want the information. You go to another department, they want the information. You just like, stop. Find a way where I give you the information, you populate it to wherever I need to go to. I don't have to give you 4 and 5 times. You got to do better. So in the radio station, the concept what I'm going to say is this. I don't know a lot about radio station Nitro, so I don't know about voice note. I don't know anything. Interesting. So what happens is, my view, what they should do is this. You call in. They say, okay, they have a line that you're in. When you call into like Apple, for example, they put you in a line and they say, we'll call you back, right? They don't have to call you back. They could put you in a line of sequencing and they can text you, because a lot of time nowadays text is free, that you're up 1 or 2 person callers down. So you know where you're in the line. So you don't have to stay on the line for 15, 20, 25 minutes and can't get through. You know where you're in the line. So if you're 7th place in the line, you know what? It's going to take a while for me to do it. I can go do something. I can listen to you and do something else. But just to have you sitting there just in limbo. And I basically said to myself, you know what? I ain't going to call too often because I ain't got time to sit down here, have no idea where I'm in line. And then frankly, I don't want to give away $1 I don't have to. Unless I can give it to a homeless person or somebody who needs it or charity. So I don't want to give it to the phone company. I just don't. So it's a little bit interesting to me. I think there's a better way and better solution to address this. And also we're going to like, okay, the money are firing them out for them, no more everybody else, You them go, I try to come up with things where everybody do. But I just think it's a better way to do it. Dr. Dan said we can't do that. Dr. Dan, apart from the privacy element, if it's my information, there's a way to do it, Dr. Dan. Trust me. There's a way to do it. There's workarounds. What I don't like sometimes is, as people sometimes, we're not receptive to solutions which may affect expediency, which may be more effective. So I understand their rules, Dr. Dan. I don't know what the HIPAA requirements are, but I can tell you when I go to hospital nowadays, to the doctor nowadays, they're much better. They have these iPads and you fill out some of the information. They'll have your information. They pre-populate it. It's much better than it was before when it's to go, especially when you have to write it down. Bless up Christmas. I know, but you have the information on file, don't you? So why do I have to come back every single time and do the same thing over again? Sometimes we just want to scream and hit the wall. So we just get so vexed. And so let me tell you something, I feel it out. You know, let me go to Pato again. I'm sometimes very miserable. I don't like things that are not efficient. I'm just not in the inefficiency business. No, I'm not in the inefficiency business. I'm just not, people. Anything that is inefficient or anything that takes too long to do, I'm like, they gotta be able to do it. Let's figure out a solution. So when I called the radio station today, I didn't get to talk because, and here's the worst thing about it. Here's what boggles my mind. Even though I was going to the game in St. Louis, I said to myself, so I'm driving 13 hours from New York to Atlanta. I'm driving 9 hours to St. Louis. That was the primary reason for coming. I'm going to drive 9 back to Atlanta and turn to St. Louis because I have family in Georgia. And then I'm like, and the game is an hour and a half. So how do I rationalize spending over about 2 days on the road to get to a destination where I'm only going to enjoy the event within a 2-hour window? Or do I look at it much more broader and wider and say, okay, well, I'm going to visit family in Atlanta. St. Louis is about the journey and the experience, not about the hour and a half. I'm going to get to see the city, which I don't really want to see again because I've seen enough of it. Now I know why Trump won. I said that the other day. So it's that mindset that I have when I think about these things, right? That's the mindset that I have. That we can't talk about. That's a mindset that I have. But there's got to be with people. You'd be amazing about certain things we used to do as people, which nowadays, Nitro, I have no choice but to enjoy the journey because I decided to take it. I don't have to go, but I decided to take the journey, right? Because I think I wanted to enjoy the game and I want to. The in-game experience is totally different from watching on TV, just totally different. So I like that experience. Maybe on the like button, that's why people are afraid to touch it. I don't know why they're afraid to touch the like button. That's their problem. You know? My hope is that YouTube come up with a concept whereby you can determine who watch your program. So if you come on my program and you don't hit the like button, you don't subscribe, I can say, I don't want you on my program. And I can either block you or I can just stop you from, like how you can't comment unless you subscribe now, because there's a bunch of people who watch a program who don't subscribe, so they can't comment. I think they should give us that option. So I can have just 2 people in my thing watching me. That's fine. But I keep, I'm gonna call it complaining or expressing the view that I don't want to come here, can't expand my remit and my program because people just don't want to spread the word about the program because they believe that it's their like to give and they're not giving the like, even though they want to absorb the program. I don't understand the concept. And frankly, when I didn't do this program, I actually didn't do a ton of likes. I'll admit that. I didn't do a ton of likes. I didn't really think about it that way, right? I'm like, I ain't hitting the like button unless I like the program. I'm gonna watch it first. But then what I started to do, if I like the person and what they deliver, I just hit the like button. And now I just go in the program and hit the like button without even thinking about it. Because obviously I'm in that seat now. Makes sense that a few exotic clubs better than no, there ain't no exotic club in St. Louis. I'm not going back to St. Louis anytime soon. Unless Jamaica playing out there. No, I'm not having it. Yeah, that's well, I don't get to hang out with the Reggae Boyz. I didn't go to the hotel actually. I'm very what's the word? I'm very finicky when it comes to those things. Right? Since I'm a YouTuber now, because when I went to Dallas, I went to Reggae Boyz, I wasn't a YouTuber. I almost feel like it's a little bit conflicted trying to go to the hotel and meeting them and get to know them. And then I'm gonna feel like I did with Low, I'm gonna feel conflicted or a hypocrite criticizing them. So I come and meet you, Float Management. You and I talk really, really well because we met up in Dallas Float. And then I come on this program and beating you when I was all smiling in your face. I just find it hypocritical. So I didn't go to the hotel the last time. I stayed away from the hotel. I was like, I'm not going by the hotel. And then somebody asked me, why didn't you come by the hotel? I was like, hey, I'm not coming by the hotel. Not happening. Because when I come here, I want to be as objective as possible about what I say about what. And I don't want that conflict to affect my judgment or affect what I say. So I'll be reluctant to go to the hotel. And it's not good, but it's how I operate. Yeah, and I understand that, Lulu. I can understand why that's the case. So it's my job to remind you without being rude or being noxious in saying, if you don't hit the like button, I'm not, let me just speak English. If you don't hit the like button, I will not, I will slow down, I won't speak. I don't like to do that actually. People may think that I enjoy that. I don't. I hate it because I don't want anybody to talk to me that way, but I just feel frustrated and having to say that. Second, I'm going to talk about something else. So the whole concept of what we say. Now, there's one regular program in Jamaica, and I've talked about this before, but I'm not going to give them a lot of airtime because, as somebody told me, you only have a couple hundred people watch your program, so who cares? But I'm going to say it anyway because news spread. That I can say this. I hear people calling into the program because I still listen to it just for entertainment. And a lot of people call in. They only call in to critique someone's perspective on something. They don't call in just provide their views on something, They call in to critique, well, John said this and John is that and John wrong. Today, somebody talking about, talking about the government, and they were saying that the minimum wage went from 6,000 to 15,000. And, there are a lot of things the government has done, which people don't appreciate and understand, blah, blah, blah. And somebody has called in just to critique and say, well, you're missing this. I know about CPI and prices and XYZ. And I'm sitting there saying, nothing wrong with having a counter argument. But a lot of times we call in just to criticize. Now, instead of the person just calling and say, you know what? Look, I understand what the person is saying. The 6,000, 15,000 are right. We got to think about inflation. We got to think about people's purchasing power. And is my 6,000 have better purchasing power than my 15,000? Make it very, very simplistic so everybody understand. And everybody understand economics and the sort of more formal terminology that informs that, right? But you can call in with you don't have to call in every time to critique what somebody else says. And so I think sometimes the people who run those platforms don't realize they have a wide audience. They have a platform. The platform should add value. It's not only just entertainment. You don't have to be Maury Povich, or whatever his name was, right? Or Jerry Springer. You can be a combination of Jerry Springer, Maury Povich, and also Oprah and Phil Donahue. Some of you may just say, oh, Cranky's dated. You're right. I don't watch the other current daytime shows, right? You can add value. You can have entertainment and fun at the same time add value in the whole discussion, right? Because you're there to learn, listen, entertain, educate, inform. That's what you're there for. So why not operate in that context? Why not come in that context? It says, before the game, Cranky, you told us on many, many occasions that you're a hypocrite. So what do you mean you will feel like a hypocrite? I said there are levels to thing. So if I'm a hypocrite, it's not, there's a levels to thing, right? I'm a hypocrite in the context of the Lowe situation. For example, I met Lowe, I spoke to him, I interviewed him, and I don't beat him as hard as I may beat somebody else. And it's probably obvious. I still say critique him, but I don't go in, but I'm managing my criticism. I'm not as toxic as I used to be in the criticism. When I used to be not have my own program, I used to go in really hard because I just felt like how I felt. And the more I think about it, the more I think about this concept, which is you can say something that is a criticism, but it's constructive criticism, but it's how you say it and what you say. So, and I keep using this example. For example, if I say, you know what? Hey, before the game, you're an idiot. Right? Which I may actually think is the case before the game, because I come hard, like, oh, you coming hard at me. You're an idiot before the game. Versus saying, before the game, you can expand your horizon. You can expand your learning. I think you need to be better informed about something. That message is received differently. You're an idiot is a disrespectful message. Oh, no. I'll give a perfect example. Here's a perfect example. I went on the Sports Explosion program, and a man called me dunce. That's hard, actually. Versus saying, you know what? I don't agree with Cranky's view. I think he's misconstrued something. I think it should be XYZ. And that man see a dunce, which is the worst thing I say to somebody, and he's talking about their appearance, is about their intelligence, right? About how dumb they are. I've said this before. I have gone to 4 primary schools in Jamaica. I've gone to 2 high schools in Jamaica. I've gone to university. I spent time in the military. I've worked from some of the best financial service companies. I have never been called dunce until that program, very late in my life and late in my career. And so I took that personal. And the host of the program, in how they responded, agreed with that view that I'm dunce. It's like calling somebody the N-word, even though I think we should move on from that, actually. Because if you're not an N-word person, then why are you worried about it? No, he didn't call me dunce. Some other person on the program called me dunce, but he was a sort of agreeing with the person called me dunce, right? And I was offended by that because I have worked with some of the brightest minds in the world, not and the brightest minds in the world, period. And this is not bragging, period. And they've never called me dunce. They have given me respect. And I go on this program and I'm called dunce. And it was very disrespectful. And I took it personal. I may not forget either. Just like if somebody called me Speaky Spokey, me not forget people. Now my memory, me etch it. I mean, I have a bad memory, me etch it and write it down. Now I forget. And now I forget. I don't remember who called me Dunson, but I recorded that thing. You'll find it. I recorded it. Somebody recorded and sent it to me. And I got a bunch of calls about that, frankly, right? From myself, Cranky, I was hanging out with D-Lo. We're not going to beat him going forward. Yeah, D-Lo, I think people don't understand, D-Lo, that you do feel a sense of responsibility if you meet somebody and engage. And look, D-Lo was, I can tell you, when I first met D-Lo in Dallas, I said, so we beat him. So you probably don't want to take a picture with me. That's the first thing I said to him. He's like, what are you talking about? Man, stop the nonsense, man. Come take the picture and take 2 pictures with me. So I walk away scratching my head saying, you know what? If it's me probably as Cranky and you beat me so much, I just say, my youth, not take the picture anymore, but I'm not happy with you. I got none of them vibes. So even though but let's be honest though, I did say I rate D-Lo before we got there, even though I beat him. I did say I rate D-Lo. And I said yesterday, D-Lo, we may have to move on from you, because you're not learn. Right? You're not learn. Probably, can you be the same day should be stripped of his armor because he's an American citizen that done through the world? Yeah, the most thing, this is politics. We are running politics at Jamaica, and therefore, so hey, let me say this about these people. I'm not gonna like this. Those who say that are bad mind on the bad mind. Because I don't want to be American citizen. And I love to be able to travel freely across the world and I work on a passport. You're going to share passport issues because you can't go somewhere to Europe. When you have an American passport, it's a privileged passport. You may not like me saying that. Get over it. It's privilege. The industrialized world, I've set it up where they can travel anywhere they want to, and you can't. That is life. And you can see with the whole immigration situation how they are. So if you don't like it, can't help you. You're bad mind because you can't have the passport. Right? If you don't want somebody with a passport, a bad mind, you're bad mind. You can't have it, you know nobody else will have it. I mean, I don't care what I want to say about that. I don't care what you want to say. You are a bad mind. I'm not changing that view. Get over yourself. He's a Jamaican. He plays for the country. He's done his yeoman's work. He's been one of our best players ever. He has over 70 caps. Apart from the last game, he really has a bad game. Stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense. Yeah, I didn't know about the person who said I was a dunce about their intelligence. I mean, that person have recurring callers who call in. And here's the fun thing about it. Here's my view on this, and this is going to sound elitist. You know, they panic on a conversation. Hey, my youth, this man from this town and this man from that town. Yeah, man, the man, you're a fool. Run with the English ball, blah, blah, blah. You know, that kind of entertaining type value thing. And the chalk sport person say, yeah, man, you say, man. Because the talk person has to bring the people in. It's vibes thing, just like the coach of Jamaica, a pure vibes thing in the pan. And we now play a vibes thing on the field. It's not vibes on the field. All is about vibes, right? And look, you have to be entertaining if you're on this program. That's why people watch you. They want to get away from their daily lives and daily routine and daily chores and things that are happening in their life. They're looking for a relief. And these kind of programs and forums provide that relief. So you can't just be all serious and just talk facts and politics and all that. You have to have levity. And I think that levity comes from some of those programs. But it has to be balanced because when you have a platform and you have a voice and you have a mic and you have influence, you have to utilize that influence the right way. You have to learn from your audience. You have to try to teach your audience if you have something to deliver. And I think there's nothing better than people with good intellect and people with experience to inform that view. And I think you should use it the right way. And I don't think some of those people use it the right way. That's my point on that. Too much. Yeah, no, Blake was very happy to get his citizenship. He wrapped himself in citizenship flag. That's his prerogative. But he's Jamaican, and you can't get Jamaican out of him. And you can't say he's not Jamaican, give him how he played for the country. So we should move on from that. But the whole point I'm trying to make is this, is that the radio program in Jamaica, and there's a plethora of radio stations. When I was in Jamaica, it wasn't like that, plethora of them. So I go online and go on an app and I say 1, 2, 3. I say, wait. But I did get some information about the KLS program, so I called into it. And here's the thing about that thing today too. So there was a thing on the program today. Maybe you guys did any of you listen to that program today? Because I want to address something which is interesting. I met somebody named Carey. I don't know if it's Carey James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, yeah. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, yeah. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last name. I met somebody Carey, James is the last n Vibes Cartel coming to our game soon. What does that mean, Conrad? I don't know what that means. So here was the comment. So when I called into the program today, I want to talk about the coach and the football and give some suggestion about direction of travel, right? But there was a conversation being held that, ISA have this new rule about players. So if you're a high school player who play in the Da Costa Cup or the Manning Cup, there has to be a 6-day window between when you play and playing the JPL if you're also playing the JPL, right? Now, apparently, I think Mona had a player who played a JPL game and was put on the match card for a Manning Cup Walker Cup game. I forgot who he was supposed to be against, but didn't play the game. Now, the whole concept or the whole idea as to why they have that rule is they don't want burnout for the players, right? They don't want players to be playing too many games when they're young and burn out early in their career. So they want to give them a good amount of window between games. What the rule didn't say, and specifically, is that you have to play to then, it didn't say, well, if you're on a match card, that's sufficient to have you in that 6-day window. And therefore, if you're in the match card, you can play within that 6 days, right? If you're in the match card, and that precludes you from playing. So apparently, Mona put a player on there, player didn't play, and in essence, they're basically saying he's in violation of the rule in a sense. I was trying to make the point that both the school and the ISA were at fault. ISA primarily because the rule has to be clear that you don't have to play to violate the rule. If you're on a match card, that alone can disqualify you. What I was saying, if Mona knows that the player was going to be in that 6-day window, they shouldn't put him on the match card. It doesn't make any sense because they didn't intend to play him. So why have him on the match card? It doesn't make any sense. It's contradictory. The host didn't grasp what I was saying, and we went back and forth, and that sort of killed the time. And the host was frustrated with me because he thought it was explained to me clearly. I was frustrated with him because I just think he wasn't getting what I was saying, which is the school shouldn't have put him on the match card in the first place, even though the practical reason for the rule was that I don't want to burn you out so you don't play. If you're in a match, you put me in a match card, you ain't going to play me. It doesn't make any sense when you have a rule that you have to also have to contend with. But anyway, that was the situation there. And I was frustrated. I think the host was frustrated with me, but it happens. And we did agree that I would probably call back, but I'm not sure when it's going to be because I don't like to wait forever. I don't wait for doctors as much as wait for radio personalities. I just don't. I am the most impatient person I know. All right, so here's the first thing I want to talk about tonight before we get into the football. Because when I run to the football, let you know. Because we have enough to talk about. I'm not in a rush tonight. I'll take my time. I'm going to drink some water and the likes them go up. 78, 132. Maybe wait for the likes and go up before I drink. I'll drink some water and get the likes up. So please, I'm going to change tonight. Because this is the English version of me, not the Jamaica version. Please, can you hit the like button, please? And because I would like to be able to, for this program to grow and for me to have an audience who view that this program and they may like it. So could you please hit the like button? I would truly appreciate it. I'm going to take a minute break. It's not a commercial break because I'm getting the commercial. Well, there's commercial, but I don't control it until I see the like button start going up. And then we will reconvene. All right. Thank you very much. Hopefully that's clear. And I've been getting beaten about how rude I am, how obnoxious I am about demanding and how autocratic and I'm Putin. So I just want to be Joe Biden, listless. I don't want to call him useless, and not a lot of. I don't want to be Trump because he's effective. I want to be ineffective. So please hit the like button. Just take a break, please. Thanks. Yes. Thanks a lot, Conrad. I think you should hit it and like and share. And if you haven't subscribed, what I should do is drop the link for both of my channels. And people, I have decided. Here's my New Year's resolution. Before we get to New Year's, here's my New Year's resolution. I'm gonna do one of two things. I'm gonna actually take this YouTube thing serious and really get involved in doing it. I'm gonna drop it. It's one of the two things I'm doing. So that's my view when it comes to this. So if I'm gonna do it serious, then there's a lot that I have to do. Actually, what do I do here? So either I'm gonna take it serious and keep doing it and doing it at a certain level, I'm gonna just stop doing it. I'm frustrated. That's one of my New Year's resolution, and that's a January 1st implementation. So within this window, I'm gonna keep doing this, but I have to make some decision on this because it does take a lot of time. It does take a lot of effort. It does take a lot of investment, and I hate not to get a return on my investment. If you buy an asset or if you're involved in something, you should get a return on your investment. And people tell me to be patient, and I just said I wasn't patient, and then still want me to be patient. I don't understand that, you know. I'm not patient business. Patient go doctor office. I'm not patient. I'm not patient. So I just dropped the link, people. So both for my Balance View thing and my Cranky Live. So hopefully, you guys, if you haven't subscribed, you'll subscribe. If you haven't hit the like button, you'll hit the like button. And if you haven't shared, you'll share. So I was going to talk. Oh, so there was something that's popped in my mind. I forgot, you know, when you talk too much, something you forgot what you want to say. See, I dropped it like twice. That wasn't intended, people. Patient in the hospital. Dr. Dan, tell him, say, patient, come to see you. Right? They come to see you. Come to see me. So let me just say this. So I have a top 5 today, people. Because you know we have a top 5 program, right? A top 5 topic that we touch upon periodically. Investment classes when, yeah, you know, R&R. When you guys get my Balance View top channel to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 views. So I'm seeing me a Balance View here too, you know. 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 views, then we can talk about investment. I mean, I have that discussion now. Now have it for a while. When you get that balance, because I don't want to talk about it on this channel, actually. This should just be for sports. So here's the topic for tonight, people. Besides Reggae Boyz, what should we discuss going forward? I'm going to stop discussing Reggae Boyz after this week. What are you talking about? I'm canceling Reggae Boyz until the March window. That's why you see me doing it as much this week as possible. I'm talking basketball. I may talk some NFL. I'm talking EPL. I'm not doing Reggae Boyz after this week, people. I don't try to go on topics that not going anywhere where they're out of season. Reggae Boyz out of season until March. Maybe once in a while I drop a show, but I'm going to have less audience because I'm not talking Reggae Boyz after this week. I don't like to. It's EPL, it's some NFL, it's some NBA. And I may do more social stuff until I get up my Balance View channel to the level where it's monetized. I decided to stop the things free. The free. Now I'm doing Reggae Boyz after this. So no matter what I did. So here's my top 5 this today. I want you guys to put in the chat, and I'm not putting mine yet. And it's going to take a little while. We're half hour in, and I didn't get to my top 5 yet. Here's my top 5. Who are the top 5? I'm reading this because I wrote it down. Barely knows Reggae Boyz is trying to. Is that a good or a bad thing? Because we now win. Is that good or a bad thing? Say those something. No, I tell you, can't stick with. Hey, you know some people? I'm be honest about this. So I'm gonna digress a little bit. We have fun tonight. I thought about going back to work, you know. I was dead serious. I was like, I'm not totally enjoying this. Like I get up in the, you know what? Here's what's bad about these people. You know when you've been working all your life and you work really hard and you used to do 10-hour days and it's like 5-hour days. And you get up in the morning and you're just like, okay, what do I do today? Do I do a show? I mean, I feel like it. Like, people no more pressure me as usual. And someone like TikTok just get under my skin sometimes. So why go out there and embarrass yourself? And then I have people from my ex work talking about, you know, can we get your channel? And I'm like, I don't want to see me in this environment. Like, this isn't that the cranky you know. I would have known me as a cranky. This is not the person you know. You know me at a certain level. And then I come here and the worst part of me come out. And I'm like, should I really give you the information? like seriously, people, should I really get information? Because if you see me, you're going to be like, what is that person? I don't know him. He can't be. I have one of my staff who's in India. He's a senior person. He's like, I listen to you, but I have to fast forward you sometimes. All right, listen to you go to work. I'm like, don't listen to me. Just subscribe and hit the like button and get off. You don't want to see me in this forum. Seriously, you don't. And so sometimes I'm just like, I shouldn't be doing this anymore. I'm just destroying my reputation. But anyway, I'm gonna keep doing it because sometimes it's fun, even though sometimes it's a pain. So I'm gonna keep doing it for the time being. But come January 1, I'm gonna make a decision because I don't like to be in certain situations, right? I may go back to and I ask myself, so if I want to go back to work, you know what some workplace do, right? They look at social media. I was like, darn, I didn't think about that. That's where awareness goes out the window for me. And like, if I want to go back to work, which I had no plans to do, people, when I retired, they're gonna look at social media as like, can we really hire this person to be a leader in my organization? Really? And that's how he portrays himself in this environment he operates. Is this the real him? What really? So that is part of my consternation and concern if I decide to go back to work, because I can tell you, even today, I was hanging out with my son, right? And I was like, okay, I got up at 9 o'clock this morning, people. And I went to bed about 1 o'clock. So I slept 8 hours. I can't recall when I ever slept 8 hours. And I'm like, I don't want to get up at 9 o'clock in the morning. I like to get up and have a purpose. So I'm either going to make YouTube my purpose and do it the real way, or I go work. Well, I'm not going to want to work for nobody because I'm very independent. And I told myself I wasn't going to work for anybody ever again. But I got to figure something out because it's not. BM, you're 100 years. Yeah, BM, start the line. Yeah. Bless up Jason Guna. So I'm struggling with that, people. I'm struggling with that. So here's the question for this evening for top 5. Volunteer. Why 1 million? I'm not a millionaire. Stop saying that, TikTok. I'm not a millionaire. I'm trying to survive. And say volunteer some public speaking class in high school. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do some of that stuff. Actually, a friend of mine want me to get involved in not in politics, but they have some political people in the background in politics in Brooklyn and New York, and I learned more about it. I'm like, is that how you guys operate? Really? I don't like that. I have a friend of mine who have a car place that he does, and I'm trying to inform him that he needs to do some things differently because he could really make it. He does well, but he could do 10 times better. And I want to push him because people may sometimes think you want to get part of the organization, which I really don't want to. So I have some options. I'm explore them because I like to have things to do when I am. No, stop the thing about eco reach and not doing anything them on. Not on money. Let me say this, people. I'm not stressed except when I come on this program. So maybe I like stress. That's why I'm here. I'm not stressed. But no, I have something I want to do. But let's go to the football. We're not talking about crank anymore. Let's go to top 5. So get your pen and paper. No, pen and paper. Get your finger ready for your night chat. People, hit the like button. I'm bored. Yeah, I'm not. People, let me tell you something. When I came to America, my goodness, I'm history. When I came to America, long time ago, I came from Jamaica where life wasn't overly difficult because I didn't work. I never had a job in Jamaica before I came here. I came here at 18. And I went to the military 3 months after coming here. And from then, I've been working long hours until I retired, like long hours. Public accounting, 15-hour days, 4 or 5 months in a row. 98 World Cup, I'm going to give you an example. I took a TV to work and didn't watch a TV because I couldn't watch a World Cup. I watched a period of it, like on a weekend. We were working on a transaction, which took forever. And then the transaction never materialized. So I'm just giving you an example where I've been busy all my life and now I have all this free time. And it's a struggle for me, to be honest. But I'm trying to work through the struggle. And I thought YouTube would fill that void, which it started doing in some respects. But then when you go on YouTube, you realize you're not really appreciated because people don't want to hit the like button. They don't want to engage. They want to cuss you out. And you just say, do I need the stress? But anyway, let's go. Top 5. You know what? Funny about that jargon, I used to be part of Kingston College Old Boys. I used to go to meetings in the Bronx. They had a board there. And it was pure old people. I was kind of younger then. I wasn't this age. I got frustrated and didn't go back. I was like, I ain't doing that. So I probably engaged with Rusty's a little bit more than I do with Casey now. I'm a friend with, for example, Charles Headlam. See me may know. And Charlie's always going to every single KC thing. We never really got them thing there. I remember nobody from KC. I know more Rusty's people than KC people, to be honest. Went to Rusty's for 3 years and KC for 2 years. So we really know more Rusty's people. Even though when KC win, the first man, I enjoy it. So anyway, but I enjoy my time at KC, but a boys' school. That's how I say about that. And me used to. Anyway, let's keep going. So here's the top 5 people. Top five. Let me get myself in trouble. What's the top 5 locally produced English-speaking Caribbean players of all time? Let me repeat. So don't mention no Cuban. Don't mention no Haitian. Don't mention somebody from Guadeloupe. Don't mention from Dominican Republic. The top 5 locally produced, not people like Sterling or people like John Barnes. Top 5 locally produced footballers. Yes, Trini, Bajan, Jamaicans, Guyanese, right? Even though Guyana are really South America, but anyway. Caribbean. They're part of the West Indies. Top 5 locally produced footballs who came on the Caribbean. Let me hear what your thoughts are. All right? I did see a list today online someplace, but I'm not agree with the list, so I didn't put it up. And you have to start with no letter, Jason Guna. Just put up the top 5. Ali McNabb. No. Ali McNabb. Ali McNabb, no. Alec McNabb was a sprinter team. No, Alec McNabb, no. I said this before. I went to Alec McNabb father's house, not his house once. First house me go, and a long time ago, people, long time ago. First house me go to Jamaica where I have hot water. Shop. Me don't say I have hot water at Jamaica in people's house. First house me go to hot water. So Granero says, York, Latapi, Tapa, Bailey, Fuller. Oh, no. One more criteria. It's unfair. One more criteria. The person has to do both well at club level and at national level. Meaning play well for the national team and their club team. That's part of the criteria. I apologize for that, people. Because I had this criteria here that you mentioned it. I have it here, club and national team. So you have to play well for your club team and national team. You can't just play for one. You can't play well for the national team and you're not a good club you play for, and vice versa. All right? So revisit. So Granero says, replace Tapa with Baby Gardner. So he's saying York, Latapi, Gardner, Bailey, and Fuller. Okay, people, let me hear your list. Shaka was born in England, people. Shaka was born in England. He wasn't born in Trinidad, but of Trinidadian descent. So he doesn't meet the criteria. Top 5 locally produced, English-born Caribbean players of all time, and they have to play for the club and national team at a certain level to fit it. So if you bump on the club level, but they're great for the national team, and vice versa, then that affects your rating. Doesn't mean it disqualifies you, but it affects your rating. We don't have no range, you know. So if you're born, if I'm from 1950s with little Delapen of them, that count. Skill Cole, Lindy, Diego, Boyd, all the way up to Fuller, Gardner, all the way up to Damian Lowe, Andrea Blake, who run the whole gamut. Now, we haven't gone back to the 40s and 30s, because there's one player, I think his name was Howell, who played first black player to play in Scotland, who also would fit that criteria. But I didn't know a ton about him. I know about others. So Warrior says, Dwight York, Russell Latapi, Winston Anglin, interesting. Waterboy and Theodore Whitmore, interesting. Hey, so he has 2 Trini. Here's what's funny about this list. I want to tell you guys what's funny about this list when we get to a good point. Toski said it's York, Bailey, Fuller, Latapi, Gardner. Okay. RR said Lindy for sure. Yeah, you can tell the age of the people when sometimes responding. You can tell the age. One said York, Latapi, Chinabu. That's only 3 jargons. We need more. Eco Reach, give me 5, the man. Taking the time and type, man, not rush too much. Just let me speak English again. Please give me 5. Please give me 5. Don't give me 1 or give me 2. Give me 5. That's what I asked for. So Latapi, York, Gardner, Blake, Whitmore. Not a bad list. Paul Johnson. I want to see that list match up to my list, actually. We're not doing any age, people. Come on. Today, yesterday, day before, we're not doing any age. Rob Smith says, York, BB, Fuller, Taba. What was it? Trini Striker. Stern John, you're thinking about Rob Smith. So that must be Stern John you're thinking about. So York, BB, Fuller, Tapa, and Stern John, I think you're thinking about. Yeah, I think there was another Glenn as Trinidad. Before the game, when I sit down from before the game, we expect you to put something on. Before the game, expect you to put something up. So top 5 English-speaking football. And look, people, there's no wrong answer, you know. This is just a conversation to see how we're thinking about players who have played for English-speaking country. Here's what I find interesting, people. I don't see no Grenadian. I don't see no St. Vincent. I don't see no St. Lucian. I don't see no Barbadian. I don't see any of those. I don't see any from the Leeward Islands. I don't see any of the Windward Islands. They're not for it. You know, people, this is pointing out something, you know, which we got to think about, actually. Say whisper, puss, I lit. Bullet and whisper. Okay. We said top 5. People, players with potential cannot qualify. I say no age matter. But if you have not achieved anything yet, you can't be in the list. You got to achieve something. York, BB, Fuller, Tapa, Low, Burton. Now, somebody saying Paulo Wanchop was produced in the Caribbean. I thought Paulo Wanchop played for, didn't he play for Colombia? Maybe I'm mistaken. Yes. Netherlands Anthony. Well, no, but they got to be produced in the Caribbean, you know. Remember that. If it's not English speaking, so you're talking about like Suriname, for example. No, I'm gonna produce those who are born under the English Commonwealth system. So Dutch wouldn't qualify. Because people may want to think about Henry or what's his name is to play for Milan, the midfielder. What's his name? Wow. Brilliant midfielder. His name is slipping me now. No Costa Rican. No. What is wrong with being a millionaire? Nothing wrong with being a millionaire, but I'm not a millionaire. Well, yes, I'm a millionaire in Jamaican dollars. I'm a millionaire in Jamaican dollars. I'm a millionaire in Jamaican dollars. So as Peter Tosh would say, I want to live for a million years. See it off is what I'm talking about. Yes, see it off. I want to live for a million years, but I'm not a millionaire. When somebody said, Peter Tosh, I'm a millionaire, I said, no, I want to live for a millionaire. He's not a millionaire. So no, I'm not looking to do that. But let me know, people. So they're good names on the list now. So Rob said, if I'm in honest people, Pearl top any list for me. I'm from Mandeville and he grew up there. He's the reason I started watching the game. Okay. But did Pearl produce on international level and club level to warrant him being top 5 Rob Smith? So this is not about the player being skillful or creative. It's part of the whole concept, but it's about productivity when you judge players, right? Because when we talk about Henry or Alan Shearer, Ali Kane, or Harry Kane and all that, and normally strikers dominate those, or they talk about Gerard, it's their production at the field at a high level, not just the fact that they may be skillful. So, yeah. So somebody gone Dutch, no, I mean, Dutch, we not count Dutch, dog, we not count Dutch. You're right. Right card, all those are what? Surinamese? Are from Suriname, right? Big time players, big time. Isn't Henry from one of those islands too? I think he may be, actually. So here's my list. No, you guys give me more lists. York, Whitmore, Gardner, Latapi, Shelton. Yeah, I think Shelton gets forgotten, and he's the top goal scorer for Jamaica. He's about 1 and 2, and he played in England. I think he played 1 year. Was it for Sheffield? I see watching play against Man U. But I'm not sure in terms of what he has done holistically. Even though you could say, come on, Shelton played at a high level, producing the Caribbean. So Shelton is a consideration. Shelton's a consideration. Man said, Aka belly, boy, I beat Haka. I beat Haka. Haka was good for Jamaica until he Whitmore put him in a bad position, bring him back when he probably should have been brought back. So here's my 5 people. Here's my 5. Dwight York is number 1, without a doubt. Champions League winner, XYZ. Bibi Garner is number 2. 12 years at Bolton, 1 year at Preston, going there after 98 World Cup at 17, 18 in terms of play a lot for Jamaica, so club and country. Stern John is number 3. I think very, very good player, productive, champion, top goal scorer in the MLS, I think 2 years in a row before he migrated. So that's 3. So here's where I get in trouble now. And people go like, what are you talking about, Cranky? I shouldn't say this. So I struggle between 2 players, but I'm going to say this. Russell Latapi, actually, played in Portugal. I think he played a small time in Scotland. Really good career. Played in the World Cup with Trinidad, with Yorkie. Played really, really well. There are 2 players. So I have some honorable mentions, so I'm going to mention them. Number 5, I have Alan Skillcore. And people are like, what are you talking about, Cranky? I've seen him play. He played for Jamaica at 15 years old. I think he's still the youngest player ever played for Jamaica. 15. When Brazil was at the height of them dominance of world football, when the Brazilian come play Jamaica, and Skill go out there and do him thing, them sign him a Brazil and play 2 years down there, but Skill was out of trouble. Skill was a differentiator. Here's the thing I think about footballers, because people talk about Ronaldo and Messi. When Pele was dominant, it was all Pele. When Maradona was dominant, there was no dispute about who's number 1 in the world. In Pele era, it was Pele. Even during Maradona era. When Maradona came along, it was Pele Maradona, because Pele legacy was there. And then subsequent to that, we had the Messi Ronaldo debate, because there's nobody else in the debate, right? Skill was like that for Jamaica for years. Through the entire, probably late 60s, 70s, maybe early 80s, was all about Skill. Even though he didn't play a ton for Jamaica, frankly. And his career probably got short at the club level because of just his probably personality and who he is versus anything else. So I had Cole as 4. Well, I had Cole in for the Latapi, actually. And then honorable mentions, which I'm going to get beaten on. Here's my honorable mentions. Yes, you say Conway Jones was good. He played in the Premier League too. I think he came from the Championship. Lindy De La Pena. played over 300. People gotta remember they played less games those days, 300 games. I forgot the teams he played for in England, but when I was growing up, you'd see games of him on the TV showing some of his and he was a sportscaster forever, and he died late he lived in past 80s. But De La Pena is in there, Fuller is in there as honorable mention, Whitmore is in there as honorable mention, Shalry Joseph, you're playing MLS, and he could have gone to Scotland, but they restrict him at New England. I know of Shalry. I've seen Shalry play when he was 15, 16, 17. Play for Grenada, still at New England now. Shalry was also honorable mention to me because I thought Shalry should have played at a high level. Andre Blake, obviously, I think should have played at a higher level. And Andre Blake, to me, is in that list, even though he's probably the only current player I have in that list, actually. So that's my list in terms of my 5 again is Dwight York, Bibby, Stern John, Scale Cole, and Latipi. My other mentions are Blake, De La Pena, Fuller, Whitmore, and Shalry Joseph. There are a bunch of other players, right? And this is not the 5 best players who were born in the Caribbean. These are 5 best players who were predict. Ricketts I had also, as I mentioned, I should have mentioned that. Ricketts, I have actually had Ricketts. I didn't put him on honorable mention, but I thought about him and Blake. And you can't have more than one goalkeeper, so I choose Andre Blake. And maybe he's a recency bias, because you know how that works, right? You have recency bias. The people who you know right now are the ones you sort of focus on, not the other ones before. And then there are other people down on the list, way down the list. Like you may think about Ananda Loa, not Damon Loa, Ananda Loa, for example, who I thought was very good for Jamaica. There are other players on there. Somebody mentioned Ali McNabb. I wasn't thinking Ali McNabb. Ali McNabb to me was a powerful kick of the ball, very, very quick. But I don't think at a club level, he didn't really leave Jamaica and play football, did he? Right? You have to have played outside Jamaica for me to include you in that list, actually. Even though some people didn't play long or play at a high enough level, like Whitmore, for example, didn't play a ton overseas at the highest level. Shaka wasn't born in the Caribbean and developed in the Caribbean, Nitro. Shaka was born in England, actually. I don't think he was developed in the Caribbean, but I may be wrong about that. But I know he's born in England. I said born and developed in the Caribbean. That's what I think about. Yeah, Cargill played in Israel for a while too. Andy Williams was. So I looked at a list today of best Caribbean players. Some players who were on it. I think Andy Williams was on it. Paul Young was on it. But it was just of Caribbean players. They had another Haitian and some Cubans and others. Dominican Republic player. Glenn from Trinidad was on it. I think his name was. There were a bunch of players on it. But these are the ones I thought sort of stood out. Luton Shelton, I think, was on it. Because Luton is our top goal scorer ever. So there are a bunch of other players out there who would be honorable mention. But the ones I mentioned were the ones I sort of thought should be considered, actually. So that was good. So now let's go to the football and what the show is about, which is what's the next step for our football? Because as you know, we just had a very difficult period, this window, where we lost twice to the US. And the US, someone sent me something. I wonder if I could find it. The US have no respect for Jamaica. None. Zero respect, people. I'm telling you, zero. Somebody sent me something about Landon Donovan talking about us. And
defensively by having.
Can you guys hear that?
They were very.
Let me just see if we can find it. They sent me something about Landon Donovan talking about us before the game. It was disconcerting, and apparently he was right. He was right. He was basically saying they should have in trouble with us. We're not. Basically, we could get it from what he was saying was that Jamaica, like really, we should just brush them aside. And unfortunately, that's exactly what they did. They brushed us aside. So can't argue with it. I don't have it on my phone to transfer it here, but I would have played it because I'm telling you, it was embarrassing the way he was disdainful of his views of Jamaica. Yeah, Tiga played in Israel, actually. Yes, you're right about that. I don't remember him playing at Middlesbrough, but I know he played in and Tiga was a good striker. I think a little bit robotic, but he was a good striker. Yeah, Andy was a midfielder. I said top 5 player, Granero. I know Andy. Andy played a long time in the MLS, actually. And scored a ton of goals and was one of Jamaica's best midfielder for a long, long time. The Germans said Ricky's skill as a goalkeeper was better than Blake. Yeah, I mean, look, I haven't watched Ricky a ton. I've watched some of the games he played for Jamaica. I watched Blake more than I played him. I think Blake has been exceptional for Jamaica. I mean, if they didn't come with his whole concept of playing from the back with your feet, Blake would probably be one of the better goalkeepers out there. Before the game, since Cranky, like what some of your colleagues call a league, he played in a garbage league. Maybe you heard that. That was frustrating. Who are you talking about? People, I told you a friend of mine took personal to the a friend of mine took it personal that somebody called the MLS a garbage league. They would never get over it. They were so mad. I told you that yesterday. They called me. They're mad. They're upset. And I was like, calm down. You sound like Cranky. Don't get upset. Calm down. It ain't that serious. It's not a garbage league. It's just a bush league. And they were so upset. They called MLS. And then the person reading me stats about MLS. How many they had what? Say one team, Atlanta, sold over 50 million in player sales over a certain period of time. It may have been last year, actually. A lot of money from it. So the MLS is supposed to be the 9th top league in the world. If you take out the sort of 6 or 7 European leagues, it's probably one of the better leagues, probably equivalent to the Brazilian league or even better. So, yeah, it's getting better. They have more investment, and it's going to continue to get better. I think they have too many old men that can play there. They should do like Jamaica should. MLS and Jamaica is similar in that they're not recruiting the young, better players to come play in the MLS. They got to spend more money, and they got to invest more money. The same American owners are going overseas investing there. They try to bring some of the better players who are more junior in their career but are exceptional. It will get better, and they'll draw more attention. But right now, they're trying to penny pinch their way to make sure it's like American owners, right? If they're not making the money, they don't want to invest and lose money unless it's for like a year or two. They just want to go make money. So, yeah. Yes, Hector Rice was nice. A lot of nice midfielders, actually. Tapa was nice. Hector was nice. Kilcole was nice. Blackapper was a very good forward. Diego God was a great forward. Diego God better than Waterboy, but some will differ. But I saw Diego play, and I saw Water play. Some haven't seen Diego play. They only see Water play. So before the game, he said to me stats. He said last summer, Atlanta sold 50 million plus, selling 3 players to Europe to include Thiago Almada, World Cup winner with Argentina. So what he's saying is that how can it be a bush league? No, yeah. How can it be a garbage league? I may have called it a league that's in the rural concept. When they're selling all these players for all this money. And he didn't say this, but I'm going to say this. How can you call it a bush league and then we have Jamaicans crying and complaining and cussing about JPL players not going to the national team? So what league is JPL if they're a bush league? And by the way, when Cincinnati played Cavaliers, I heard that Cavaliers didn't have any iPads. That's why they got destroyed. Anyway, yeah, MLS would never have. Hey, people. I understand some American owners. Why you think we had this big uproar in England when they try to have the Super League? American owners thinking about making money. They don't like no football. They're not having relegation. Relegation diminish the value of your franchise. That's not happening. Never happens. They have no relegation. They're not going to invest in relegation. So that concept sounds good and sounds good in England, but it ain't happening in America. That's why they have antitrust that precludes them from being subject to certain things because they're not having that. There's no way they're going to have relegation, which will weed out some of the lower teams. But American owner putting all these millions and then lose their money, they got to protect their investment. Not happening. So let's talk about the Reggae Boyz and what I think we need to do to make sure we not guarantee, but allow us to get to the World Cup, right? There are 2 key persons are parts of the two key components to this that I think informs this. So before I do that, let me hear what Dr. Dre asked me. I didn't say that, Dre. I was informed of that. I haven't go check the stats, but I was informed they're the 9th best team in the league. You know, there's a lot of factors I think that inform the 9th best team. It's probably television, it's probably revenues, players sold, probably a number of different factors. Television audience, all that. You know, Apple has a monopoly on the league. They bring all their games. So, and the games also are showed overseas, actually. So, are they the 9th best league? They could be. Think about the leagues in the world. Apart from the top 6 in Europe, which you may include the Dutch. So, if you think about EPL, Italian League, La Liga, France, Germany, that's the top 5. You may think Dutch, say it's 6, even though that league is watering down more. Then who is 7, 8, and 9? You may think Brazil, possibly. It's not a lot of other leagues out there you can see is better than the MLS in terms of organization, in terms of quality of players coming through and all that, right? So they may be the ninth best league. Apart from them and probably Brazil, what other leagues you think are so great that would say the Saudi League is not better than the MLS? They may buy a lot of high profile players who are past their prime, but they're not better than the MLS. No, I didn't want to go there in the RR. So, people, RR make a great point, which is this. Cranky, I'm like Issa now. Cranky, when you're setting these things up, make sure the criteria is clear and there's no ambiguity in the criteria. Now, I didn't say male or female, did I? Right? I've said before that Bunny Shaw is the best footballer Jamaica has ever produced, and I got beaten about you can't compare man and woman and blah, blah, blah. She's the best footballer Jamaica has ever produced, period. Bar none. Dwight York is still the best footballer produced by the Caribbean. But I can't put Bunny Shaw in the mix because I thought men, and this may be me not thinking as broad as I should, which is why you always need other people to inform your view. And when I love that, thanks RR. But I should have said men at the outset, RR. So I apologize for that. I should have said men. Yeah, Triple E, I hear people that talk about 90. I mean, here, for Maverick program, I talk about, everybody told me talk about 98, but we're 26 years after that's how people want to talk about 98. And what you do? I mean, you think about people about 98, because it don't set me off now. You people always get me good on a tangent, right? For those of you who keep talking about 98 and how much local players are in the squad, because mostly until they get to World Cup, I think there were 3 foreign players. There was Simpson, who was the engine of the team. The most important player in the team was Simpson, not Papa Whitmore. Then we had Burton and we had Paul Hall, right? But here's what's interesting. When Simonis got to the World Cup, what did he do? What did he do, people? He go draft Sinclair. He go draft Powell. He go draft Robbie Earl. Right? He go draft a number of English-based players because he didn't think he could compete when he got to the World Cup. So those of you who keep saying, it's all the local players. Yeah, they got you there, but then some of them got dropped. The Paul Oz of the world got dropped along the way when he brought in so-called better players who were not born in Jamaica. So, but we seem to skip over that and not understanding that, you know what? We're getting the players early now than we did, but we had almost six starters in the team, Paul got a red card in the first game, who were not born in Jamaica, who came in and displaced some players who got them to the World Cup. Now, some may say, well, that didn't work out really well, but Simonis decided who did the survey on the island that, you know what, this was important. And Rob Smith, please, spare me with that nonsense. You know what? Then you didn't understand the concept of what Simpson's role was. Simpson was the one who do all the dirty work in the midfield, run 24/7, never tired, shirt come off wet. Tapa was a skilled man who get all the glory, salad a man, pile a man, make a nice pass here and there. No, Simpson to me was the most important player in the team. Not in the striker, not in Burton. Simpson do all the dirty work. You think if Simpson play against US the other day, US man don't relax and now feet now no pressure. Eh? Simpson apply pressure 24/7. Go watch the games again. You go if they can't find him, because that's 26 years ago. When I went to DC, the most important person I was impressed with was Simpson. Man never stopped running. It wasn't Paul Hall, it wasn't Burton, it was any of those players. It wasn't Cargill, it was Simpson doing all the work. Cargill was in the back, protecting the back four, stringing the pass left, right, tap out with them nice touches and flicks and Salah de Brazil and them. Simpson not stop run, put on pressure, fit 24/7. Man coming like a bug. That's how he was. People, if you say that Rob Smith, then I respect your knowledge, Rob Smith, but come on, Rob Smith, man. Go back and focus on it. Yeah, Devons, Fitzroy Simpson, not stop run. What people are talking about? Fitzroy Simpson, 24/7, I run up and down. Fitzroy Simpson was irreplaceable. I don't think I've ever seen anybody play Jamaican midfield like that, with that amount of energy and commitment. I love how like that was when I committed now. And Andrew was a good player. And Andrew was one of the most important players. Nah, man. Go look, people. Oh, memory stays, man. Here I go with the pattern again. How is a memory like that, people? Please revisit your history of Jamaica. Yeah, Ranger. I agree with that, Ranger. I totally agree with that. They should not have brought in Robbie Earl. Yeah, and I also went to Florida. I actually flew to Florida to also watch Jamaica against Brazil. Fun match. I think we drew 0-0. Whitmore get him in. We didn't get his nose broken in match up because him Salah the man, and we are because so them just will love Salah. You know, Salah was you could have lose the game and Salah man, you're happy. Tapper was full of touch, man. Tapper was skillful, but Simpson was a man. Simpson was a man, people. May I tell you? Don't let anybody tell you any different. Go 98 team. To me, the most important player was Simpson, because you know what? Your middle was never deficient. He was playing the 8, right? Well, I didn't know there was an 8. I think they played 3 across because Tapper wasn't playing the 10 per se. So Cargill was there for playing the 6, but Tapper and Simpson just played the other 2 midfield role, and Simpson do all the work. Me not care what Simon wants to say. Simon, I look at Pitney. Hey, wait, how old was Simon in 96? Okay, Cargill. Okay, LB. How old was Simon in 96? 98. LB, since Simon is saying he was more influential because Simon is the football guru. Hey, Simon, if you aren't, tell him how old he was in 96, Simon, 97, Simon. Because 97, we made the World Cup in 98. We went to 98 World Cup. Simon, please tell him how old you were. People are talking about experience now. We're not talking about no guessing. We're talking about, I keep fluctuating between this patois thing and this English thing. I'm struggling. See, people, I said this to this person on my channel today, and he's still not listening to me, TikTok, here's what you should say this. You think Barrett was just as important. Don't ask me why it has to be Simpson. Why is the most important player? That's my view on this. I can have a view of TikTok. If TikTok is not the alternative, if he's not the contrarian, if he's not the devil's advocate, he don't feel good about himself. I just said this TikTok at the outset to set a standard, which is we don't have to come on here and dispute something in that context. We can say, I think Paul R was just as important. I think, and I can give you my reason why Simpson was the most important. Because when you control the middle of the park, you control the game. That's my view. So the striker may score the goal, but the link, and that's why it used to be called link, that no midfield on this was link. Yeah, link man. The concept of link is you link the defense with the forward. That's the link man. And the link man was not as deemed to be as important, but if you, in hindsight, you look back, the link man was important. No TikTok. You see, you say, you ever go to your thing, TikTok? TikTok, you ever go back to your question? You have to know why it's that. No, I'm just saying TikTok. You just say, you know what, Cranky? I think Barrett was just as important or more important because Barrett protected us. And that's your view. Can't fight you. El Granera says, so this is the information, people. According to Opta, who's supposed to be some experts, MLS is ranked as the 9th best league in the world, up 1 place from 2023. So here's what's more important than this El Granera, which is what's the criteria for ranking the leagues? That's what's important, actually. Is it how much players you sell? Is it how much money you generate? Is it how much viewership you have? Is it all of the above? But Cranky, you was a disheartened fan been there a long time. I don't just know. Yeah, man. Simpson was the key for that, actually. And Simpson wasn't born in Jamaica. Anyway, some man just one Jamaica, local Jamaican on the team. Yeah, someone talk about say, according to one program, a Maverick program. I've more Jamaican in the team, look at English go and the BL if you go with them. And you're sitting here thinking, you don't have to say it that way. You could say, you know what? I think we need to do a better job of recruiting players, and maybe we'll find some local gems, which I actually believe, actually. Because I'm going to tell you something, people. Somebody said, I can't play it in I'm playing it, people. Somebody sent me the King highlights today. From the man plays 17 minutes, may I tell you, people. And I'm going to go watch the King highlights. Somebody may have it. Me say me can't find it. But we can't play it because we don't want to get no block by YouTube. But the pass he made to Nicholson with the outside and right foot, that was a special pass, people. I tell you the truth. Go look at it again. Special pass for a player center back on the left side, outside and right foot, pan a dime. Nicholson always offside, or him always a customer in nothing knowing up on the field sometimes. Seriously. Ridiculous pass. Forget about the other thing I'm doing, him turn pan the man and comfortable, but the pass, I thought it was a ridiculous pass. That's just my view. And I thought I thought based on his 17-minute cameo, that you know what, there are some people who convince you that they should get more playing time. You can get more playing time. That pass was ridiculous. I'm telling you. I watched the whole game and I'm thinking, I ain't seen nobody make a pass to the whole Jamaica team for the 2 games. I haven't seen somebody think about it, people. We don't make no really insightful pass in those games. We don't split the line no time in the game. Or midfielder, apart from Hayden when he go down for the line and cross the ball and create score, right? But an incisive pass that beat the defense, that split the defense, we don't make no pass there. That's why we midfield improve. That's what Ravel does. No, TikTok, I'm telling you, that pass was ridiculous. Great point, Triple E, and those things we have to do sometimes. So we have to bring more of this to the forum now. Yeah, Croatia. No, we have gone in the opposite direction. So when I was calling to that program today, what I want to say to the person on the program is, what is his name? His name Arville or something like that. I think that's Arville. I think he comes on CVM too. What I want to say to him was this, people, which is this. We cannot follow any one given model as Jamaica because we have too many restrictions. Let me repeat that. If you want to build a sustainable football program in Jamaica, we can't say, well, only the club can develop the players, JFF can get involved. Or we can say, it's solely the club to develop the player, JFF can get involved. Or it's Jamaica's job to do it. No. It has to be what we call a hybrid. There has to be involvement from both parties and other parties to really transform the football in Jamaica. And I get frustrated with the inability to think outside the box about to effectively get these things done. Let's not just say, oh, you know, because I've done this sometimes. Spain does it this way. England does it this way. Germany does it this way. Or you know what? Uruguay is similar population. Because some of these people have so much history and it's so embedded in the environment and they have so much, they're so far ahead, it's hard to emulate them in a sense. What we can do is garner all information globally about what people have done. We then say, what's the best way for us to effectuate this, put this in play? Which may be a combination of JFF getting involved with the clubs. Here's one thing I came up with today. Some don't beat me at the top of my head because somebody told me today I was talking to myself. That's how bad it is, you know, people. It's like, why are you talking to yourself? Because I'm sitting here talking, you know, I'm saying, okay, if we did this, we did that. And they're like, you know, you're talking to yourself, right? I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah, so let me just disclose some confidential information. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. You know what? I shouldn't do that. I'm not going to do that. But let me just say this, which is it's very important for us to rethink how we want to change football in Jamaica. And I think about any one model to do so. Because we're going to have stakeholders who only have certain objectives and it may conflict with what we're trying to do. So you have to find a way to work around all these restrictions you have that informs what you're trying to accomplish, inclusive of, you know what? We want to make sure we develop our players from primary school, elementary school, all the way through when they become professional. We want to have a program in place which is holistic. So maybe what it is that, so this is on top of my head, people, don't beat me. I'm like, okay, does every parish, can we think about the parish now, or every region have a club in the JPL? No. Well, if you're in Hanover, how are you going to be part of this whole program if you don't, you got to go to Montego Bay to go to Montego Bay Club or something? How does that work? If you're in Westmoreland, do you have a club in the JPL? Because what I was thinking is this, which is every club adopts a few high school, right? Now you're going to have every solution you come up with going to have problems. Let me just say that. Every solution you come up with going to have some kind of problem. What's the best scenario? So for example, because, you know, Kingston have most of the teams. That's normally happens. But say you have a club in Hanover, for example. I'm familiar with Hanover quite a bit. And when I was in Jamaica, Rusty's was in high school, but not everybody at high school. So there's 6 high schools. They hope of a high school and Sunday be of a high school, whatever they are. Every club is aligned with, say, maybe 3 or 4 high schools. And maybe that's too much, but in a given parish, for example, right? And so, because most of the players are going to go through high school anyway, and we can't get rid of Bank of the Casa Cup. So there's an affiliation. They align with them. And they will then pick the best players out of those schools to be part of their academy, per se, right? So some schools are going to get disadvantaged because they're going to be some schools who have most of the better players, like a Cornwall may do so, or Rusty may do so in Hanover, but regardless. Because also transportation and travel and proximity and locations are part of the challenge you face. You got to think about all the challenges you're going to face in doing this. But let's say you have an affiliation between, wrong book me I read, affiliation between the clubs and those high schools in the parish. I'm just thinking out loud, you know, and work with that concept, because what you don't want to do is miss any one player. right? And you also want to give every player a chance. And you also want to have the player to have the infrastructure and the setup. And also every parish has a premium facility, for example, where they play football. And they're helping with each other, the various places and locations. But I'm just thinking out loud, people. They got to be a better way to do this. I'm open for all ideas. What if the parish isn't interested in high-level football? Can anybody believe that parishes are of a top club? I think people in every parish is interested. No, you got to work around that. So okay, say Andover is not interested. So the closest place is Montego Bay or Westmoreland. You work with that construct. The problem you have is, how do I get to Montego Bay from Lucin when it's 25 miles away? Or how do I get to Sav from Lucin when you got to drive over the mountain to get there and it's much farther away, for example, right? Or how do Trelawny is right next door but proximity is a problem, people. People can't leave high school, finish school, and you want to go to the club when it's so much miles away. So proximity also has a problem to do with it. But the solution is not here tonight. The point I'm trying to make is this. Come up with more creative, deductive, tangible solution to address the problem, which means, as Nancy Reagan would say way back when, I'm dating myself, no child left behind, or was that Clinton? Somebody said that. And every kid who have an aspiration to be a footballer would have an opportunity to do so. And they'll be able to do so not only in high school, but a professional environment. And the transition from high school to professional environment is much easier if you have that affiliation, that association. But come up with something here that is much more creative, much more thoughtful, much more expansive than what we do today. Which to me is not really, it's just a ad hoc thing that we do. It's not really structured, thoughtful, strategic to be able to address some of the challenges that we face. Right? Because you want kids to transition from elementary school to high school to the pros, which is JPL, to overseas eventually, which is the ultimate destination for them. Yeah, but McClaren can't find the talent on his computer, Jason. McClaren can't sit on talent on his computer. They're not on his computer. Or he might find the talent on the computer. All right? There are players on the team that start, not the level. Yeah, but I mean, guys, I'm just thinking outside the box, guys, right? So I'm not saying what I'm proposing is any solution. I'm saying we got to throw things on the board and some things will stick. That's how you come up with these things. How do you think companies come up with some product or come up with some ideas of doing something? They try to get people with certain perspective, get the ideas on the table, sort through the ideas, pick the best ones, and some ones make it to the final, and some drop along the way. That's just it is. Yeah, but it can't be all Chris Williams. What Jamaica lacks is Jamaica has a lot of brain drain, which is probably the most material thing that happened to Jamaica. So not all that intellect resides in the island, it resides other places. Conrad said, the cranky thing is King should stop starting the team. No, a lot of coaches and scouts going to watch him. No, and want him to. No, I said this the other day, Conrad. And Conrad, you may not understand this. You may not believe this. I think that 17 minutes that King had there, he's going to get him some looking. I am almost 100% sure. That's 17 minutes he came on. Hey, people, remember, listen to people. When McClaren spoke about players, the two players he spoke about were King and Cephas, And nothing on his channel, they want to beat the most. He didn't talk about Lowe. He didn't talk about Holgate. Well, he can't talk about Holgate, I'm not a player. Him get him red and yellow card. He didn't talk about Gray, who scored 2 goals. He didn't talk about Bailey, who, I don't know if he played or not. So I'm not beating Bailey, people. I apologize for that. He didn't talk about Latty. He didn't talk about Hayden. He spoke about King and he spoke about Cephas, if I remember. No, he didn't have 45 minutes. I think he had 17 minutes. I got to go back and look. I think when I check, it says 17 minutes. So maybe I'm wrong on that. I'll go back and check it out. I don't think he had 45 minutes. Did King come out at halftime? No. We made one change at halftime, right? We took off, let me check if I remember correctly. We took off McGee. We didn't put on King. We took off McGee at halftime. It was the only change. So Robson King played 45 minutes. Let me go back and check on that. I don't remember. So did we take off McGee for King? But if that's the case, then I made a mistake. Let's say 45 minutes. Because I think he only had 17 touches. No, we're talking about after the game, Nitro. Oh, no, still so Nitro. Nitro, how we like this, Nitro? We're talking about after the game. Yes, float. I keep saying 17 minutes float. Yes. Say 45 minutes. Whatever he played, he was brilliant. Yeah, he came off for Maggie. Okay, so yeah, I forgot. I'm getting C now. But whatever he did in 45 minutes was better than most people did in their 90 minutes. I don't think he played. Did he come off for McGee? Who came off for McGee, people? Was that King? I think we went more defensive, so it may have been King. I'm trying to remember. Didn't King come on for Low? Because Low pulled up, didn't he? You know what? I'm gonna check again. I thought Low pulled up and King came in for Low, so I must be totally wrong. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to Sofa Score. Sofa Score, Jamaica versus, because it would tell me how long he played. Hopefully they have it right also. And it's not coming up for some reason. It ain't coming up. I'm gonna look it up though. Okay, you know what? Let me do this. I thought it wasn't 45 minutes. I'm wrong. I'm gonna go check. Go to Sofa Score, people. Because people saying it's 45 minutes. I thought it was 17 minutes and he came on for Low. Why would he have 17 touches? Nah, man. He's a King for McGee. So it's Jamaica versus USA. How much we get? About 4-4-2. So some people say it says 45 minutes, and you may be right, but let me just check and make sure. Before I'm agreeing. So Gray scored 2. Way up, Pepe halftime. So they're not showing me lineups. Somehow Sofa, I gotta go. I'm gonna go Sofa and check because I didn't think it was 45 minutes. And you know how much I hate to be wrong. So people are like, why you keep saying 17 minutes, Granky? You're way off on that. I didn't think he played 45 minutes. He may have played 45 minutes. So I'm going to check it myself. I know some of you are just checking also. Apologize for hitting the thing so hard. So we got 4-2. So let me see how much minutes King played. So we're checking. Yeah, he played 45 minutes. So I was totally wrong on that. So I did check that out. It's 45 minutes. 45 minutes. So in 45 minutes anyway, Maggie out King in. I forgot about that. I probably was so battered by the outcome at halftime. I probably forget about that. But I thought he was exceptional in 45 minutes. I think that 45 minutes, not 17 minutes, Cranky, is going to give him a look in. People, remember this, people. The game is being showed all over the US. There are MLS teams, there are USL teams, there are other teams watching. So if you see that player come on and look like one of the best, Jamaica's best player on the pitch, frankly, because he looked that way, then wouldn't you like, you know what? Maybe we're missing something here. No, I didn't fall asleep. Somehow I had in my head he played 17 Float. Yes, Float. You and I were on the same side of the field. And I was even more closer to what that was. I just forgot, Float. Float, just remember, I'm seasoned enough, so. No, Dre, I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong about the 17 minutes. I thought it was 17. But anyway, it came off Maggie 45. I know he went more defensive second half, but I forgot about it. Regardless, I'm going to stop beating about that. And let's go to the performance. I thought he did a really, really good job. Umzo, no, we agree on Umzo. We don't disagree with that tonight. But here's what I'm thinking. His one performance is better than Holgate's 3 performances. And that's a fact. I'm not beating Holgate. Yeah, but if you keep holding on to the asset, it's going to depreciate over the years, right? Now, I thought, here's what impressed me about King people, which is important. King had the pinnock composure when he was playing. You go look at the game. King get pressured by a forward, and he dismissed the forward as if he with disdain, like, get out my way. I'm going upfield. You run, go to the defense and run upfield. I just thought the pass that he made, that one pass to me was like, he got ability. No, I need to see the match again, Nitro. I need to see the match again. I thought King was good. I thought Cephas was good also. Remember, King didn't play the first half, and we won the second half, like the coach says. Right? King didn't play the first half. We won the second half, so he played when we won the second half. Now, Rob Smith. I know all those stats in Rob Smith. Don't forget that, I know all those stats. But here's the thing, Rob Smith, about low stats. Hey, Rob Smith, here's what about low stats that we don't see. Low is the one player, people, that fill out the stat sheet all the time, good or bad. 3 of 10 long balls, so that's a 70% turnover. 8 clearances, 6 tackles, 5. What the stats don't show you is low order position a number of times. What the stats don't show you is low running to half line to tackle and just play the ball around him, and then his defense is wide open. So even though I think Lowe does a good job a lot of times, I think he makes some key mistakes which are not apparent from the stats, which causes problem. He may not be the one who gave away the goal, but his decision put his defense in a vulnerable position, then it creates a problem. And I've said this a lot about Lowe. If he played with more composure, if he played with more thought, like how smart he is on the football field, he'd be a 10 times much better player and be playing at a higher level. His inability, and here's the thing about Lowe, which is important. And Lowe need to realize this because he's getting up there and he's probably not going to change anyway. But let me just say this. I didn't bring this up today, but I'm going to just mention it in passing, right? Somebody said something to Lowe, some satire to Lowe about, I'm going to put it in my own context. He shouldn't be playing football. Let's say he should be a carpenter. And Lowe's thing was to go at the person's parent, right? That's inappropriate. Damien, that's inappropriate. That's below you. You could either ignore the person or go back at them and say, you know what? You play to come watch me play. I said that to somebody one time. They're trying to beat me, and I said about my playing, I said, but you paid to come see me play, right? Because I know you paid to come in, right? And I was playing, so you came to see me play. And he shut them up. Go back in a cute way with the person. Don't go that direction, which just... Because I can say I go to the basement, but I'm not going to go to somebody's parents that's going to the basement. I'll go to the basement a different way. I'm not going to talk about somebody's parent. I may talk about you, say, you know what? You are LSM, like I call Maverick. Right? Whatever LSM means. I think it means, I'm not going to say it. But I'm not going to go with the person's parent. That's not a good look. So for him to go to that direction, come on, Damien, you can do better than that. Seriously. That's not warranted. It's below you. You're much more intelligent than that. You're much smarter than that. Now, someone that's smart does manifest it in the football field because you know why? Damien is such an emotive person. It reflects in his play. And sometimes it's hard to control the more qualitative factors of our life. Not the quantitative one, the more qualitative one. The one which, you know what, is not tangible. The intangible is sometimes harder to control than the tangible. And in Damien, that's the case. Rob said, honestly, cranky. Some of these fans and bloggers need to be told about themselves. One who keeps referring to Bailey as a dolly. No, I agree with that, Rob Smith. I think when you denigrate people that way, they will want to come back harder than how it's like Kevin Durant, for example, can't take criticism and he's in the public domain, but he'll criticize sometimes. Look, I'm not saying Kevin Durant. All of us are like that. You see the man, the liquor shot man, I always talk about, because the LSM, I call him, liquor shot man. Because I'm not talking about nobody's parents and nobody's kid, family off limits people. Liquor shot man can't take criticism, Anytime you start criticizing him, losing mind, but him getting most criticism. Cranky still like that too sometimes too. See him cranky, yeah, talk. But I mean, now I'm going to go with nobody's family as part of it. Because me a hypocrite when it comes to that. Nobody don't like criticism people. And some of the criticism go over the board. And some of the criticism is inappropriate. And we have to pull ourselves back. So we all need to think about it when we do it, right? Because if you're a YouTuber, you have to criticize. If you're going to be an analyst or going to convey perspective on sports, you have to criticize. It's just part of the job. You can't watch a football game and says everything is donkey-dory and this player well and he didn't play well. You have to call him out. But you don't have to go to the point below the basement to do so to convey your point. You really don't. And that's part of the issue. So Damien shouldn't have done that. I can understand his frustration. He shouldn't have done that. But Damien is so emotional, it's reflected in his play, which affects him to be... So even though he put up the stat sheet, some of those stats shouldn't be there because he shouldn't make the tackle. Hayden should make the tackle. Or Latte should make the tackle. But he wants to make the tackle because he feels that it's like the tackle in Jamaica where people are beating me because I was saying it was Amari Bell, it was Greg Lee. So they was cranky wrong again. It was Greg Lee who was keeping the man on side. But people are saying, cranky, you're missing the point. Damien Lowe went and tackled. Pulisic played the ball about him. The man was beside him up into the goal, but he wouldn't have, and I'm always saying, well, if Greg Lee wasn't there, probably would have been offside because Hogan stepped up and Lowe had actually gone for the tackle. But should Lowe have made the tackle that early? Maybe he backed up a little. Maybe Hogan could have come over. Maybe stay beside Pepe. Those are the things which the stats doesn't pick up, people. The stats don't pick up that Greg Lee was keeping the man on side, The stats doesn't pick up when Lowe went to make the tackle when he should have made the tackle, That's why you got to think about the eye test, the stats holistically when you're bringing an assessment on play and their performance. It's very important, people. You can't just go and just pick the stats up and say, you know what, Lowe, this man scored 3 goals, Gray scored 2 goals. Did you see Gray in the game a lot? Did you see Gray on off defense not doing anything? Did you see Gray making an insightful pass? Did you see Gray run at people? Did you see Gray tackle anybody? The holistic game is important, even though the score is material. The other aspects of the game, which needs to be considered, right? Needs to be considered. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was terrible, Amzo. I thought both wingers were similar in their output and play. No, not in the output, because Gray scored 2 goals. But in terms of how they played throughout the game, right? If you come watch the game, Gray got a score of 8 now. And I'm like, SofaScore? I think SofaScore needs to do this. So SofaScore, and I know you're not watching me, you have to find a way to quantify the intangibles in a game and include them in your scoring. You can't just look at the tackle. I know we're trying to come up with all these quantitative factors to inform the scoring, but you have to find a way to, and you can do it with AI, calculate the qualitative factors. So Greg Lee didn't step up. You know what? He lose half a point. Low went to tackle when he shouldn't. That caused a goal. He lose a point. That's the good thing about it. What are you watching, Jason? Gray didn't fall over himself. No, he he did. People, Gray didn't fall over himself. I know. DW, I won't blame any one player. Our defensive structure was poor, no press, no. No, DW, we're not arguing that enough. The point we're trying to make is that the individual players, and Gray was part of them, was culpable. And the only person who wasn't culpable was the coach, because he's a genius. He doesn't make mistakes. His strategy was great. So the players who weren't pressing because the coach told them to press and they didn't, because they didn't follow instruction. Jesus, why not harsh enough? No. I'm not talking about the player. I've decided to move on. I am not going to talk about the player. I said this. I have given up. I thought I could influence the player's performance, but I can't. Pep extension cranking in the EPL is mind-boggling. Yeah, I mean, Pep believe they're going to beat the Chargers, which they're probably going to beat a lot of Chargers, actually. You know, they're guilty of sin. But the criteria about the Chargers didn't make any sense in the first place, which is you can't tell a man he can't spend money on his own team. It doesn't make no sense. Now, well, I got to manage that by saying that, which is it's not like the NFL or the NBA where we say you have a pot. Well, this is what they're trying to do, actually, with the financial fair play or what the new name is, right? PSR, whatever it is. I think the way they set up the rules, it only favors the top 6 for a lot of it. Cranky, I like better when you walk with Warren, Oral. No, I mean, I want Oral. Me worry myself, because Oral not listen to me. Me I listen to Oral not listen to me. So me worry myself, but me don't mind worry myself. It made me feel good. So Bell was on 4 for that goal. He didn't anticipate the play. Now the score to go through untouched. No, but Bell wasn't the one in the offside position. That's what I'm saying. Was it really Amari Bell? Amari Bell was marking Musa. Right? You could point to 10 different people for why that goal scored. You could point to Lati and Palmer, because the man drew between the two of them that shouldn't happen. You could point to Amari coming over to go at Pepe, but that would be going into the offside position. You could point to Holgate not coming over because he had nobody who was marking. You could point to Lowe tackling too quickly because he should have started back off. You could point to the whole team structure being out of place. You can blame anybody. But we could blame as somebody just DW said, blame the entire team because the defensive structure was awful. Yes, OS, 45 minutes. Cranky, do you see King as a second center back going forward, or I was making a case for him to be midfield? Nah, not in the midfield. Nah, not in the midfield. I think he should be. He'd be considered for second center back. I think what people don't understand is that, yeah, people may say he could be the 6, but I don't think so. I think Aiden would be a good 6. I think Aiden has been playing in the football, competent football, not people. He looked decent. He was out of place in the first half. He looked decent enough to be given a second and third opportunity. So unlike Holgate, who has had a very up and down Premier League career and keep going in one direction, at one point, Hayden was playing like 4 years straight for Newcastle. Newcastle team that's struggling in the Premier League, but in the Premier League under Steve Bruce, you was starting to see him every single game. And then he tore up his knee, and then they got better when they were taking over, and then things went downhill for him. But if he gets a team and he's playing consistently, he's a good. people, he was trained at Arsenal. He has to be a good player. He went to Arsenal Academy. He was a center. By the way, people, Hayden was a center back at Arsenal. He wasn't a CDM. Became a CDM at Newcastle. So you could say, well, King is a center back. Declan Rice was a center back. They transitioned to CDM. It's not the worst thing to do, right? You could even blame the post, but the post should have come in more. It was too wide. The way turn off for Jamaica is the best thing. The game gave us the coaching staff a lot of data. I think what the games did, but let McClaren know you have a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. Yeah, no, look. I think Pulisic should get a lot of the credit for that goal, but we were making people. I've said this before, people. Let me just say this, because I'm gonna do a show on this. Actually, McClaren is not the answer, but he's all we have, so we have to work with him. I'm gonna do a show, and I'm gonna do a 10-minute video on that actually, because I did some research and not research, but I did some thought about this. He's not the answer. Not the answer. If your leader not taking blame for making mistakes and not preparing your team appropriately, you can't then go blame your team and act like it's them, it's not me, because I'm the big shot here. No, that doesn't work. But he's not the answer. I think King should get more playing time. I think that's a King's time should increase, but he won't be a starter soon. We'll see. I think McClaren is blowing this thing up and starting over in terms of players. So let's go into what I want to talk about this evening. So here's my view about Reggae Boyz and what we need to be doing. There are two key components to the Reggae Boyz going forward. Well, three. JFF, the coach, our coaches, because it's Merran God and Steve McClaren. Okay, right, nobody wants that. And the players, right? Well, the players don't control who is picked in the squad for the national team. So it's mainly the JFF and Steve McClaren. The most important thing we need to do now, at this point, between now and March, is recruiting. Recruiting. Let me say this again. We need to recruit better. We need to recruit younger. We need to recruit for need, not for want. Now, everybody who gets a passport should be given a role or a place in Jamaica squad. You get a passport, just like any other country, you're a citizen now, doesn't mean you play my team. We need to recruit across the globe, whether it's in Holland, whether it's in Germany, whether it's in the JPL, whether Montego Bay or Kingston, me not care. There's always going to be somebody who you never thought about, who a coach can see, take them, nurture them, get them up to speed, even though we only have another 3-4 more winter to do so. Right? We shouldn't leave any stone unturned. Because there can be a gem out there like a Ricardo Garden that we don't see, we know about, that we can become the next person. We also have a bunch of young players overseas. As I said yesterday, I had about 14 in my list who are playing for teams like Tottenham, are playing for Ajax, are playing for Chelsea, different teams, who have ability, who we haven't thought about, who we need to be brought into the fold. Some like Whisper, if he gets recovered, should be considered. Others like a Splat, if he recovers from injury and is playing well, should be considered. Others like Brandon Cover should be considered. We shouldn't leave any stone unturned in thinking about these players. Now, he can't bring in everybody. But he needs to say, you know what? We need some midfielders. We need a right back. We need a right back. We need a right back. We need a center forward. We need 2 wingers, maybe even 3 wingers, because the ones we have ain't working. So we know we can talk about Greenwood a lot. We need to talk about Greenwood more. But hopefully Greenwood will come. If he doesn't come, we move on. Let's not pontificate. Let's not delay. Let's go, because we don't have a ton of time between now and June. This next window is the most important window. It's not about St. Vincent. It's about getting a squad together, which you don't have to change materially between now and when we start the World Cup qualifiers. So let's get that squad together. Let's identify the players. Let's identify who may not be committed from who's committed. Commitment is not just about if you're born overseas or not. Commitment is about, are you going to do what is necessary on the field and off the field, which means you don't go party every night, which means you turn up for games, which means you're committed playing defense. That's commitment. Commitment is not just about, well, you know what? This person lost their passport, which seems to be a theme in this window. So I think the JFF first has to make sure what? Which they've been doing, by the way. The JFF has been doing a better job of late, people, in terms of, well, we know about the passport thing, but giving the coach what he wants, because he asks for Ravel, and him get Ravel, I'm going to use Ravel. That's not on JFF. In fact, I may say to JFF, you know what? Should he really have done that? Did he guarantee he's going to play Ravel? Because he needs to explain that to you. So JFF needs to be responsible for make sure we have the right resources, make sure we have the right infrastructure when the team is in Jamaica, make sure we get the right friendly matches. I need some water, people. Give me a second. When they talk too much, you need to replenish and rehydrate. We need to make sure we have the right infrastructure. We have to support. We have to make sure we have a process. If there are players who want to play for Jamaica, like a Dwight McNeil, let me just say that, like a Dwight McNeil, who may be eligible to play, or who may be waiting on England, but no, England is not coming, and who we know can add a ton of value, would be the perfect 8 or perfect left winger for us. Bring him in. Fight Devon, Devon, go to your recruiting. Devon, get on the on. Because you don't credit Devon, but you're the best recruiter Jamaica has by a good mile. It's not the people in the JFF, because they don't recruit nobody. Look at what they want, so they can beat me all they want. They're not recruiters. They are facilitators. They're not recruiters. We need people to recruit up. We need a recruiting strategy, which I've been saying about now for a year, which we haven't deployed. We haven't come up with a recruiting strategy to go out and go source players, make them feel like they're the best thing since sliced bread. You know how people recruit players who are trying to get into college who are 5-star athletes, basketball, football, baseball? They spend a lot of time with them and their family, incentivizing them to join them. That's why you need to recruit players, especially professional players who don't need your resources, right? You think you're just going to have them, World Cup is enough to incentivize them. No, they mean, well, I don't want to fly no 9 hours, 10, 15 hours, and then I come in here or things are out of whack. Like Hayden used to think, and Hayden used to know before he come here. They want to know that they come into an environment that's professional. Well, you know what? The JFF is creating that environment. Now, let's go see how good this coach is in recruiting, because he needs to recruit and recruit younger, not a bunch of old men who are past their prime. Sorry. Right? I'm not saying anyone's in the squad are, but recruit younger men. Because people like Antonio and people like Pinot may not be around come World Cup 2026. It's a long 2 years for those players who are past 30. Even Ravel, who we're calling in, 2 years can be a long time when you're past 30. You're not Roger Miller. There are only a few players like that. So recruit younger and recruit better. Right? So if the JFF does their job, which they're doing in a lot of respect, and you have to give them in credit, because they only want praise, but when you beat them, they don't like it, but they only want praise. So I'm going to give them praise. They've been providing the resources. Because when them give the man $10,000, may I predict that number there, to send him to get Ravel. I know he's Ravel. McClaren should be beaten about that star. I don't know if he beat McClaren about that. YouTubers, CVM, TVJ, Sportsmax, LSM, Class, whatever, KLS. Now I'm going to have to beat him both, man. Them think, no, okay, he's not okay. We're not a rich country. Gary Paul said, quit the Ravel talk. All right. No, I'm not quit the Ravel talk. You brought him here for a lot of money. It's a lot of money in Jamaica. What's $10,000 in Jamaica? About $1 million, something like that. Enough money. Could I use them buy some cones or whatever we need to buy? Nonsense that he did. Right? I'm going to say, the Simples in Haggams and Steve, they both seem happy when they come out, but after a few matches, you start to hear the regretting. Yeah, I get the sense that they don't believe the players are good as what they need for them to accomplish their objective. I think that's the frustration for the coaches. The players that they think they have from England, who they think was going to bring in, along with the local players they have, between that and some of the challenges, given what they're used to, it's difficult for them. Now, Hogrimson is at Ireland. How much did I get from England the other day? 5? I'll be shocked if Hogrimson have a job come next year. Maybe he doesn't care. Or JFF let him with a contract. I'll be shocked if he has a job. I think Hogrimson was just desperate to leave Jamaica. Maybe it's a family situation because sometimes your family doesn't feel comfortable in an environment you're not happy with. But he made his decision. We move on from it. We ain't got time for him. We focus on Steve McClaren, who worked with Speed quite a bit. And here's another thing, people. You should not, you know what? I'm supposed to be talking about what we should be doing, but I keep digressing. You should not get a job because of affiliation. He got the job because he knew Speed from the engagement with the talent development program. Speed thought he satisfied some of the things that he needed because he was supposed to be a coach for Man U. He wasn't a manager. He wanted a coach on the field. But how much coach you can do in those windows, Speed? I think I told you what we should have had. And you push back and say, Speed no good. And you see Speed win everything. I told you we're going to get a Spanish coach. So I'm putting that out people. You hear what I said way back when. Get a Spanish coach. Get a Spanish coach. Get a Spanish coach. I said 1,000 times in different forums. Yeah, single position football. Because you know what? Some people have thought, other think, and some people just react based on profile. I don't care about no profile. I care about outcome. I care about productivity. I care about sustainability. He doesn't give me sustainability. He doesn't really give me outcome. He won one championship with 20. He doesn't give me know-how. He says I'm a modern football coach. I don't see what he does that's modern. I'm not here to beat him. I'm just here to say things which are factual. Or from my perspective, appears that way. So we need Steve McClaren and JFF. So JFF has to get good friendly games. They have to provide resources. They have to provide infrastructure. That's their role. And they're doing it decently. And look at the girls have 2 games against South Africa and play France. JFF is improving. I think Dennis and others have done a better job than we've seen in the past. Obviously, when you have money, everything look good. Look better. Because money camouflage certain things. But I think Dennis and his team, along with Speed and others, have done a better job. Now, what Rudolph needs to do is go get a technical director. Because I hear Donald going to retire. So I mean, I asked Donald if we get fired people. So I'm going to retire. But here's another thing too. Can they afford a technical director? Because if you want a really good one from Spain, by the way. If you need a really good one, or something of that ilk, it's going to cost you a minimum a couple $100,000 minimum, which is expensive. So the JFM need to go out and get sponsors and friend of the diaspora to contribute to GoFundMe if you fund them thing there. Because if they don't treat the diaspora better, it probably have been a better situation for them, you know. But they're not reach out diaspora, then just themselves and think say, boy, them know everything, which is not a good thing. But anyway, we're not here to beat them. Because we've been praising them all night. Cranky for technical director. No, sir. Cranky, I try to figure out what we do after retirement. Cranky, I can't be as bad as what we have, though. I'm telling you the truth. Because, seriously, people, it is very obvious to me that technical director is imperative for football. But they also will get frustrated with the lack of resources sometimes, right? That would be a problem. They would get frustrated with certain things. The JFF would have to change to accommodate these individuals. You can't bring somebody from a first world country and you act like a third world country when you engage with them and you do things. No, you have to find a way to uplift your game. You may not have the resources, but work with them to get to a good place, right? And I think that's important. And I hope the JFF get a technical director on a more long-term basis to really help the football. Sit down, come up with a very comprehensive, JFF come up with plans when they have the election, all of a sudden, you know what them plans, then they're just gone by the wayside. So, hey, Dennis, if you're out there, maybe we should talk. I'm going to talk to Dennis. I'll talk to Dennis. You need to come and talk about some of these things. Seriously. Maybe come on my program, management, or wherever he wants to go to. It's his prerogative. But he needs to have this conversation. We need a quarterly update at a minimum about some of these things. I'm going to try to reach out to somebody in the JFF if they will engage me. Because sometimes some people are vexed with me. People may tell them, but no. They burn some bridges. And that's part of their fault and part of my fault, right? Because I get a motive on this program. But my intention is good. My way of operating sometimes probably needs to be, and that's where the awareness probably needs to be amended. So let's see how that works. FIFA pays the technical director. Well, if that's no, I was told at one point by somebody that the technical director was expensive, and the JFF would have to fund maybe all of it or part of it. It was too expensive. Look, people, let me say this. But I know this for a fact. The JFF has aspirations to get somebody in at a certain level to help the football. But you and I may want a Lamborghini, but we can't afford a Lamborghini. Right? And we don't want to set up an Corolla. I mean, my son's arguing today about him buying a Corolla. But say go 300,000 miles. I said, buy a better car. But anyway. So we may have Corolla money, but we want a Lamborghini. Right? And that's part of the problem. Or somebody may want, sell us Lamborghini and we just can't afford Lamborghini. But we need the Lamborghini people. Because here's what you guys don't realize from my top 5 today, which is a purpose in that top 5. We just talk about the best footballers from the English-speaking Caribbean forever. So let's say from the 60s on, because we don't know all the people before that, but there were not a ton of them before that. And we struggled to come up with people who were exceptionally playing at the highest level. We come up with Dwight York. Somebody really mentioned, but Dwight York is the only person we can come up with. Dwight and say Bibi to a lesser extent. We don't have any. Boyd Clark was probably the only world-class footballer in that listener. Right? You can say world-class. If you go to Africa, we shouldn't say Africa. If you go to Cameroon or Ghana, we do a comparable with the Caribbean to the population, right? Because Caribbean is not 20 million people English speaking. You still would struggle people I forgot what the number is, but I knew it. I forgot the number is, like English-speaking Caribbean. We have countries in Africa that produce that. Don't think about Uruguay in the country. Them live and breed football. We're not using that comparison. We're using similar people persuasion as us. We can't come up with but Fuller played for Stoke. Fuller wasn't at that level. Sustainability. Fuller played enough championship football enough. Football didn't play like Bibi, who played like 10, 11, 12 years in the Premier League. Fuller didn't play 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years in the Premier League. Right? What we're saying is that Dwight York, and then we stuck for a while. And then we go to Bibi, and then we're stuck for a while. We should be rattling off 10, 15, 20 players who played at the highest level over the last 40 years. And we can't. That means there's something wrong with the coaching in the Caribbean. So this is not a Jamaica thing, English-speaking Caribbean I'm talking about. There's something wrong. Nobody knows a Bibi Abala. Nobody knows a Bibi Abala. We're talking about where the world-class players, because Bibi was a world-class, very good player, started pretty young, from 98, but where the world-class players come to the Caribbean? Gary Powell, there are levels to this thing, Gary Powell. There's levels. Fuller was skillful, beat a man here and there, scored some brilliant goal, but look at him stats. Right? Dwight York went to Aston Villa, he went to Man U, he played Champions League, he played with the best players in the world, the best club in the world at one point. We're the world-class player. Latas, what are we talking about? Only York, thank you, Owen. Only York you can say was world class of the players we just list. Only York we don't produce world. Sterling went to England, became world class. People say we were not world class, but very, very good. Let's say he's not world class, but on the cusp of world class. John Barnes was world class, but they went to England young. Sterling 6, John Barnes about 12. They went young. We don't produce world class footballers because we don't produce world class coaches. Jason Roberts, I think, was from England that plays for Grenada, and he wasn't world class. Not even close. Who's saying that? He's not even close to world class. Very good footballer. I think he came from England. He's not world class. Worthless Latipi is nothing close to world class. Very good footballer. Played, I think, 30 games in Portugal for who? Porto. Nothing close to world class. Let's not confusing the word world class. We are beat at the word world class now wrong. No, they're not world class, man. Because you play in the highest league in the world doesn't mean you're world class. The point I'm trying to make is this. If I ask you to name me the 5 best world cricketers in West Indies history, so because West Indies is English-speaking Caribbean in a sense, they would compare to any players that ever played cricket in the world. Garfield Sobers, Haynes, Greenidge, Walsh, Lara, Malcolm, Holding, we can go on and on, people. About cricketers. Maybe in the last 20, if we can introduce in the last 10 years retired, Gale, for example. Right? Even though he's probably more for 2020, but he scored 200-300 in a test cricket. Right? We can come up with, even though we come up with the Bravos of the world who are very good and close to world class. We can't come up with world class footballers in Dwight York. That's not a good thing. We can name a ton of cricketers. If you go back way in the Headley days, the Worrell days, the three W's, I said three W's way back when, up until more recently, we can point out world-class cricketers. Cricketers, people have spent time playing cricket and not playing more football. And we still can't come with world-class football because you know what? We don't have the coach in the Caribbean. Have we ever produced a world-class football coach in the Caribbean? I'll wait for the answer. I'm supposed to be talking about what we need to do. We may have to postpone this conversation. I'm right at that time. But can you guys name me any world-class football coach that we produce in the Caribbean? Have we produced any world-class football coach? Right? We haven't. That's part of the problem. If I don't have teachers, because Jamaica have world-class teachers now, but in that classroom, and then America import them, and then we struggle. World-class teachers at university, world-class teachers at high school, world-class teachers at primary school, compared to any teachers in the world. We couldn't have skill called world-class. Can start play early. Even though he probably had world-class potential, I think skill had world-class potential. I would say Diego and Waterblood probably could be a consideration. There's not a ton of them, actually. But they never matriculated to being world-class. Skill goal was too controversial to be world-class. Even though him controversial, and old age, you may send this something. Still a controversial. Tapa, in a man to be a class, in a world class. A man to be a class, in a world class. There ain't no such thing. A Jamaica class, in a world class. What about a Jamaica class, in a world class? People, people, we're using names which okay. Let me just say this. So let's revisit the conversation. Maybe ones who have world-class potential way back when, but they're nowhere close to being world-class. Nothing. Water boy is nothing being world-class. Because if you're world-class, you should at least get close. For example, Robert Morrison probably had the ability to be world-class, but he was never world-class. Can't hold on a club, play for about 10, 11 club. But if you look at him play, you could say, you know what? He has world-class potential, but he's not world-class. So we can't put him in that category. Yeah, but I'm not buying that DW because a lot of Africans, look at Africans like, what's the name that play for Barcelona? There's a bunch of them. The Drogbas of the world. You can name a ton of African players who are concentrated between Ghana, Cameroon, Senegal, the Manes of the world, the, what's his name that from the president of football for Cameroon. There's a ton of them who are world-class players, right? That come from the same country. So we don't want to compare to the bigger population, but I'm just saying they have world-class players. We don't produce world-class players. De La Pena wasn't world-class. No, he wasn't world-class. Very, very good back in the 50s. He wasn't world-class. He wasn't playing Division 1 in football, destroying like York didn't get a big move to Man U. Didn't. He wasn't even close to world-class. Well, the world-class definition, Brian, is not something which I think is definable, right? I've been having that conversation with people of late about that. It's not really definable because some people view of world class. I'm going to look it up because I don't want to give you a definition, but even that definition that it comes out doesn't equate to me. It's almost like you know it when you see it, right? You know it when you see it. What's a world class footballer? A world-class performing organization is one of the best in the world. Doesn't tell nobody anything. It doesn't tell you anything. So here's an example of world-class. You have to almost use example to define world-class. Like a Messi, a Ronaldo, now let's use more contemporary football. Mbappe, Bellingham, who's not even world-class yet, but getting close to it. But those people fall into that category, right? Pressa, yes, he's world-class Jamaican. But Fuller wasn't world class. What much goal Fuller was Coach Jamaica? About 7 or 10 in 6 or 7 games. No world class one. Yeah, no, I know DW they do, but I'm just saying some of those African countries don't have the resources Jamaica has, and yet they have done better than us. I mean, the population is bigger. Nigeria's millions and hundreds of millions of people. So Nigeria doesn't even produce footballers like a Ghana do. They're doing now, but they didn't produce it like Ghana or Cameroon or Senegal does. They're doing a better job now, especially given that they're exporting people. But yeah, but the point I'm trying, Salah is it, but Israel. I mean, you can't say Egypt produced a lot of world-class players. Salah is the only one I know. The point I'm trying to make is because we're talking about the English-speaking Caribbean. We're not talking about one country. It's a small number of people. But the point I'm trying to make is that we have one over 40 years that can't be good. Somebody may question York being world-class, but to me, he's close enough to say he's world-class. World-class is subjective. It is subjective. It's not easily definable. I agree with that, jargon. It's subjective, but I think you know it when you see it. Or at least the person on the periphery of being world-class. So if you say, today's football, don't think about Messi and Ronaldo. They're past their prime. They're no longer world-class. Van Dijk is world-class. Saliba looked like he's going to be world-class, right? Who else would I say? We look at a different team. People say Trent is world-class. I would say no, Trent is not world-class. I can't defend. But he has world-class capability offensively. Right? That's what we're talking about. Vinicius Jr. Is he world-class? Probably close to it. Modric was world-class. But we can roll those off our lips. Kanu wasn't world-class. Okocha was but they were brilliant football players. Kanu had art problem. Okocha didn't only play for a few teams which were great. Played for PSG, played for Bolton. But he was on the cusp of world-class, so we put those in the category. But he wasn't truly world-class. He's an all highlights film on YouTube and all that. But was he a world-class footballer like a Zinedine Zidane or like a number of these other players like a Kevin De Bruyne? No, he wasn't. Yeah, Torre was world-class at one point. Neymar is world-class, even though some people don't like Neymar. The point I'm trying to make is this. And I'm going to go to the world-class thing. We can name a handful of Caribbean. We struggle with who made the top 5 for the Caribbean, who played at any high level, apart from maybe Dwight York. Latipi didn't play. He played first class in Portugal for what? Less than 50 games? right? We talk about Whitmore. He didn't play Division 1 in England. He didn't play Division 1 anywhere else outside Jamaica. So the problem I'm having is that why can't we produce those type of players? And we want to dominate this part of the world when we're not producing those players because we don't have the right coaches. And by the way, people, and if you're Trinidadian, don't take this personal. So let me drink some water before I say this because it's going to get me in trouble. So you should always do that before you get in trouble. I will say this, which is, if I'm going to get certification, if I'm going to get my badges, I'm not sure I should get my badge from a country which is challenged. Let me just say that. So I'm going to get my badges, I'm going to do my work someplace else, and maybe I get the badges from them, but they're not the ones who are going to judge me. I'm going to go learn my trade someplace else. If I can go to Harvard versus going to Timbuktu College, I'm going to Harvard. That's just what I'm saying. I'm very concerned about the process of getting the licenses in the Caribbean through the Trinidad Channel. I'm dead serious about that. I just think you have to learn your craft in a way where you can apply that craft in a practical environment in a way going to allow you to be extremely successful. So, for example, I've been saying this for 101 years. Well, not being here that long, I'm just exaggerating, which is we got to find a way to get more association with Spain. I'm telling you, go learn Spanish, people. You're in coaching, you're in managing, JFF, go learn to speak the Spanish so you can communicate with those people. Because the companies I know that I work for, they're always looking for who's the best and then they emulate them. They hire their own people, they hire them, they look at what they do, they dissect what they do. Look at what people do with Pep Guardiola and Man City. Everybody not playing inverted. You look who is best and you try to emulate them if you can. And you may have a hybrid of what they have, but you try to do so. So anyway, let me finish off trying to say what I'm trying to say here. I'm not going to this topic again. So I think recruitment is one of the most important things that McClaren needs to do. Hey, McClaren, because I've said this a lot. You can't do your job from England, my youth. So this is patois time. You can't do your job from England. I'm sorry. That's not okay. In fact, to me, it's almost inappropriate, actually, to do that. You can't go watch a player up close and personal on your TV versus going live. That doesn't work for me. I don't want to hear you on your computer and you're looking at players and looking at... No. Let your data people go look at computer and data. Go to JPL games. Go watch Holgate where he plays. Go watch Antonio at West Ham. Go sit and talk to them. Go engage them. Go talk to the coaches. Go look at the players you need. Look what position you need. As I said, you need 2 right backs. You need a center half. You need a left back. You need midfielders. You need forwards. It may seem that cranky out of control. We can't bring in all these players. But you know what? What we have is not sufficient. We need better players who can keep the ball, and we can't do that. He wants to play position football, which I support. Except I'm not sure he's a position football coach or he's a coach who is doing the hard work to get the players he needs. Right? Yeah, but I mean, a lot of those Africans get traded. They do a lot of engagement with Europeans, right? They not only stay in Africa and sit down and do anything. They do a lot of engagement with Europeans. Yeah, well, you shouldn't get your badge from Trinidad. I'm going to get beaten about that, but that's not where you should go. So here go TikTok. The player's in England. He's in the right place. He would be useless living in Jamaica. Yeah, I mean, that's your view, TikTok. I'm not saying he should live in Jamaica. What I'm saying, he has to be more in Jamaica. And when he's in England, he can't be on his estate, wherever he is, on his computer. So what is he doing in England, TikTok? Since you're the genius as usual. What is he doing in England? DW. Hey, Alan Madrid. Let me ask that question. People may ask Alan Madrid the question. I know there's a lot of people, and I hear them on the radio station saying, what is he going to set down in the squad? The man watched us play and said, I need a new team. This is not, I got to go recruit people. You came in, you should have known this before you come August. I keep saying this. It's a reactive coach. He didn't do his homework. He didn't know what he had. I'm sure Hogger to talk to him. He didn't know what he had. He didn't do his homework. That's why you got to get a young... Hey, people, let me tell you something. Jamaica needed a very young, hungry, strategic, deductive, future-looking, forward-looking coach who has his pulse and what is needed to be a good team. They hired a retiree like me who should be on YouTube giving instructions. That's what he should be doing. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing, people. They had a retiree like me, which is not a good thing. Somebody sent me something, says, I'm going to digress. Jackets in Jamaica. Hey, you know what? Somebody remind me. Write a poem, people. Ratted. Somebody just remind me. Write a poem, which means if you put it on, may say it out in public, so you know. Write a poem. I'll read my poem. I'm sorry people digress, but somebody sent me a thing. Jackets in Jamaica, DNA test, drama, and daddy dilemmas. Wait, people. Somebody just send me this. I write a poem. I find my poem. This sound really bad, people, that I'm in the middle of football, but you know, something I'm going to show if you rest of the week. I wrote a poem about this. It's totally different, totally digress. Some of you going to lose your mind. Cranky, Cranky, can't you think linear, Cranky? Why are you all over the place? But no, write a poem, people. I read my poem. And then me find a way to make me. You know, I probably shouldn't read it, you know. But I read a poem. I try to find my poem, people. My digress, people. No beat me. Someone may even leave, but me understand if I want to leave. I write a poem, people. I feel my poem is original, so no copy it. And I run go to the studio with it. Because I'll sue you. If you publish it, me do my research, but if me publish it, no, and I write one this. You know what? Me not publish it tonight. Write a poem about the jacket thing. But me can't find my poem to write it. I even send my poem to myself to make sure, because you do that, you know, you want to copyright the thing. And I'm trying to find it, and I have no idea what I did with it. But I'm going to find it. Because I thought it was very, very good. Because somebody just sent me something. And I recall that I wrote my poem. And now I can't find my poem. Because I want to read it to you. Because I thought it was good. And I can't find it. So I have to move on from it. Jeez. This is really bad. And go back to my football. All right. I got excited because somebody sent me something which somebody want me to talk about. And I cannot believe I can't find my poem. You know what? I'm gonna do this. I don't read my poem, man. I'm thinking good enough, so I want to read it. That's why you hear me even talking patois. File open. Let me see recent. It must be here. Wow, it's not here. Oh. Copyright process. I apologize, people. Oh, yeah, here's my poem. I'll read it. So now tell me. You know what? Now put it on the board, but don't tell me if you don't like my poem, right? Let me put it on myself. So this is always my brain works sometimes, you know. I'm in the middle of explaining what we need to do for football, and I jump into one poem. See, I'm madness. Me I go on with it now. But I like to do this anyway. I like this. All right. So someone will beat me now, but I don't really care. This is important. It's part of your life. And if you're young and if you're old, it affects you. So here's the thing, people. Here's my poem. Me I look for music feed. So if you have music producer, when you talk, here's my poem, people. Now listen up. So now listen up carefully. Can write my poem. I send it to myself, so I know it's my poem. And it's original. It's called Whose Child Is This? I wrote it yesterday. Whose child is this? And it should be to music, you know, but I'm not a music player, but it needs to be to music. It says, in the heart of the island, where the rivers run deep, a silent storm is brewing, a truth we fear to speak. A study revealed what many dread to know. 1 in 4 fathers raising kids not their own. 70% of daughters, their fears confirmed. A child not theirs, trust and love overturned. At the root is promiscuity, a culture ingrained, a truth we can't ignore, though it's hard to change. And here's a pre-chorus. Whispers in the town, judgment in the eyes, families torn apart by unanswered whys. It's not just about the bloodline, it's about the pain, the wounds of mistrust, breaking hearts again. And here's the chorus. Whose child is this? That the truth be known. This chronic issue cuts right to the bone. So here's where we go. Maybe get beaten by the woman now. DNA is the answer, the clearest way to resolve the doubts and heat the fray. Let the love be real. Let the bond hold strong. For the children of Jamaica, we must right this wrong. Promiscuity runs deep. It's part of the tale. A way of life for many, though it often derails. While the culture may not shift overnight, you know, let me take off this. getting beaten. While the culture may not shift overnight, give me 1 second, people. Come interrupt me once in. While the culture may not shift overnight, DNA testing can bring the truth to light. False paternity test claims a burden to bear. Father stepping back, love turning to despair. With science and love, we can finally see the truth that sets the family tree free. Teach your sons to stand, teach your daughters too. That respect and trust build a love that's true. DNA testing shines a light through the haze, resolving the question that cloud our days. No more doubt, no misplaced blame. Every child deserves to bear the right name. Whose child is this? Let the truth be known. This chronic issue cuts right to the bone. DNA is the answer, the clearest way to resolve the doubts and heat the fray. Let the love be real, let the bond hold strong. Our children of Jamaica, we must right this wrong. And here's the final part. So let's rewrite the story. Let's rebuild the trust. For every child deserves a love that's just. From Kingston to Montego Bay, hear the call. It's time for unity, time to stand tall. Whose child is this? DNA will guide. With truth and love, we'll stand side by side. The root runs deep, but the path is clear. DNA testing brings the answer that's real near. Now, if you're a woman, you're beat cranky. You're beat cranky, people, about this. But if we can't change culture, if we can't change behavior, then we have to find a different way to allow each kid to have a father that's their real father. And when you file for the kid from America, you find out, say, I read today where a woman had 10 kids and 9 of them never belonged to the husband. Huh? 10 kids and 9 of them belong to the husband. Right? 10 kids. None of them belong to the husband, people. 9 people. You believe that? 9. I think DNA testing is the solution, people. No, DNA testing is not the solution, no. But it's part of the solution for the problem, because the real problem is promiscuity. The real problem is being disingenuous. The real problem is not being trustful. The real problem is not having a moral compass. And just like guns, you equate this to guns and people and problem. The police can't fix the gun problem, but they can help to address it, like DNA testing can. The fixing the gun problem is people and their behavior and how they operate. But if I can't fix that, then I have to have another solution, which may not fix the root cause, will address some of this. So anyway, I had to digress and read that, people, because I thought it was important. Somebody just sent me something on my phone about some DNA dilemma. I mean, I tell you, the problem in Jamaica is not Jamaica. The problem in the Caribbean is chronic. Now, I know it's in Africa and Nigeria, and Jamaica is probably the worst. I haven't done an assessment to figure out what the global situation is with this in terms of how this is. But the whole thing, people, it's bad. It's really, really bad. And I know of people who've been affected by this. You know, when you find them thing out, people, when you go at immigration, a lot of times you'll find out you're filed for people. And, you know, you come to the it's different tonight. If you go to England, they want to take DNA tests as a last resort. So in England, you have to have your name on the birth certificate within the year. Within the year after person being assigned that father. But if it's not in that window, then they have other methods to substantiate the paternity of the person. So then they may use DNA. In the US, you know, the US is more draconian, DNA test, and so many families. I think somebody mentioned, who's the DJ that it happened to? Was it, can't remember the DJ name. Mataran, was it Mataran? One of those DJs who have talked about it publicly. It's a devastating thing, people, if you find out that kid is not yours. Yes, Brian Brooks, to talk about balance view. I'm not talking about the balance view. I'm not talking about the unbalanced view. I was trying to get a guest from Jamaica, but it hasn't worked out. A friend of mine is a lawyer. He contacted some lawyer down there. Person gonna find me something, but then find me somebody. But we want to talk about it. But anyway, I figured I'd throw that out there, people, to not light, maybe dampen the room, then I'm lighting up the room, you know. Because somebody gave me the information, I decided to read it out. Because I just had this poem done. Every DJ get a jacket. But anyway, let me go. I don't know why I stopped in the middle of this, talk about this. Somebody just sent me this. So a few more things on the football. One is recruiting. Please, JFF, work with PICA, work with the Ministry of Sport, Work with McClaren. McClaren, go do some work, man. Go do some work. Stop relying on American for help you. Not care what you want to read out to we and prepare for where Simon prepare you. Go and do your job. You're getting paid. Do your job the right way. Okay? Go and do your job and go recruit players. Work with the players. JFF, do what college administration does. Make it easy for the players to see that, you know what? We're a destination for the team and for them. Right? Oh no, Jamaican men, we get this in the car. Them fees are them and the man now. So Jamaican men, them all get this. Them fees are them and the man. All of them. Almost again. But anyway, they feel like they're the men. But we go back to the football. I'm not going to go through all the things that I had written down here in terms of what we need to do. But I think there's a defensive element to this, which is what's the vulnerability defensively how we perform. Focus on transition defense, midfield dominance. We need midfielders who can keep the ball, who can progress the ball, who can dip a shoulder, who can make a pass, who are not intimidated by the opposition. And our attackers need to do better. Here's what's funny. If you're a coach and you have 3 forwards who are playing in the Premier League and you have 1 goal between them this season in about 30 games in total, and you expect to beat the US, you're joking. You're joking. No, Gray scored 2 goals. I think those may have been Gray's only 2 goals for the season. You know. I gotta go back and check, but it may be only 2 goals, so that's not good. Yeah, but then McClaren put in the closet on the shelf and they get a dust. That's how me feel. All right. Now, I was talking about the 3 forwards, Nitro. I didn't say anything about defender scoring. I said my 3 forwards, Gray, Bailey, and Antonio. I think between 3 of them, they may have 1 goal this season, if I'm not mistaken. Bailey hasn't scored in the EPL. Gray barely plays where he is. He's missed of 12 games, he's missed 7. He's not in the match squad. I don't know if he's injured or what. And then I think Antonio scored 1 goal for West Ham in the Premier League. I don't know if he's maybe I should check if he has another goal in the EFL or something, but I think he has 1 goal this season. So we're not scoring. Well, I'm glad he said we should play Hayden, Alan Blair. I don't know about Richard King in the CDM position. I think Lowe needs to be challenged for the centre-back position. Now, do I rate Lowe? Yes, but Lowe is too comfortable. Lowe can make the same mistake 100 times and we still play him. He has to do better. He has to play like somebody who's using his head play football, not his foot play football. I respect Lowe's intellect. Don't get me wrong about that, people. But he has to do better. He can't be rushing in. I watched him to play the other day. He was at half line making a tackle. And when the man beat him, he just look around. He's just saying, what the hell are you doing? Why isn't Latian somebody's making that tackle? What are you doing? He does that all the time. yeah, Nitro. It appears that way. Because they don't go score on the pitch. Gray scores 2, but the goal scorer on the pitch. But I do think that we need competition for places. I heard somebody read it today, so we need 33 players. They're right. 3 players are every position, and they should all be able to take somebody's game. That's what you want. Look at the England team, for example. No Grealish, no Sterling, no Rashford. The young boys, Gordon come in, Palmer come in. They're taking their game. They're taking their game. And these are accomplished players. You need competition for places. Rashford and Sterling can't even get in the team anymore. You know, Sterling is struggling. But see, these are accomplished footballers, and yet their game is under pressure. We need people under pressure. People don't do comfortable. Even Andre Blake needs to have competition. I think what's his name is a good goalkeeper. Right? But everybody needs to have competition for place. TikTok, I've never said Lowe is not a good player now. But TikTok, you would never admit that Lowe makes bad decisions a lot of time. Almost every game he makes a really bad decision that's costly. So he needs to change his game. Or he needs to get changed. I'm sorry. He needs to change his game or get changed. Can't keep doing the same thing over and over again with looking for a different outcome. Not happening. Well, in the midfield, as I said before, I think Aiden can give them the ball. I think Ravel can give them the ball. And go get Dwight McNeil. I can't think of another midfielder. Don't tell me about Lewis Baker. He ain't got no papers. He ain't gonna get no papers. He's not coming. So here's what I want. I want Kai Walker-Peters at right back. I want Dwight McNeil in left center midfield. I want Greenwood on the right wing. I would love to have Cameron Archer challenging Antonio. Left wing, I would love to have Reese Nelson say you want to commit and come and challenge on the left wing with Gray, along with Cephas over there. That's what I would love. And I need a center back. I need another center back. I have a lot of them. I'm not a big Holgate fan. I'm be honest. I'm not a big Holgate fan. Haven't been. I used to like Holgate at Everton for a while. Watching play over the years, I'm like, nah. I don't think we should have brought Holgate. I have no problem getting citizenship and being available. I'm not a big Holgate fan. I became a big Pink fan. I wasn't when I saw him play in Austria and getting burned by the US. But he's convinced me over time with his play for Brentford and his play for Jamaica. Right? No, Dwight Mendy can play the 8 and he can play on the wing. I didn't say he plays central. He can play the 8 and play the wing. He can play on the 8. I know he's a more near left wing, he can play in the 8. I've seen him play the 8. Sometimes they play him like on the inside at Everton. He was at Burnley with Sam Dyche. He can play the 8. I want somebody who can go box to box. Lyle Kelly will not be joining. Lewis Baker will not be joining. They ain't got no papers. Ben Godfrey I don't know about. He's in Italy now. I'm naming other players I think have Jamaican papers who can do well for us. I know we have talked about, what's the kid from Bournemouth name, but he's on the bench. But I think Kai Walker-Peters is the answer at right back. Or go find some kid with some very good potential who can compete. They may be at Tottenham, they may be at Chelsea, maybe at other clubs. Go find them. Bring them in. Give them a chance. Give them a chance, people. Don't just discard them because what? Give them a chance. Dwight Mendy can play anyway. In anywhere across the first, apart from defense. I haven't seen him playing defense. Now, people, what 8 are you talking about, Jason Gunnar? 8 is he plays box to box. First of all, Jason Gunnar, he plays all along the wing. He's defending from his box to the other end. So what's the difference? It's not too deep, man. If you're playing the 8, like Arsenal play the 8 with Xhaka, or Arsenal play the 8 nowadays with, who we playing 8? With Marino, right? Man City plays the 8 with Silva, because they want to play on the right. It's the same concept. They're box-to-box players. Man. Max Aarons. I'm not going to say Max Aarons. I like Kyle Walker-Peters better. Because Kyle Walker-Peters can play the inverted. That's basically what he does anyway. Even though it's not what he really does in the team. But that's what I think he has the 8. Like a Robinson play for the US, I think he can play the 8. Ben Johnson right back. Nah, he's struggling to get into the team. We don't want Peter in the Premier League. Here's another thing too. He's not Marino. No, he's more athletic. Marino's better in tight spaces, but he's more athletic. No, come on, Jason, man. Jason. Come on, Jason. We need to go get a couple young players with potential who are better than what we have now and bring them in. And some of these players I'm talking about, somebody talk about Julian Sterling can be versatile. Yes, that's what we need. I saw Julian play. I think it was at Rangers I saw him play. I don't know if I've seen him play it late. Yeah, we have some players out there we can go recruit and bring in to help us. Getting booked by the US is not helping us. Ben Johnson wasn't starting at West Ham, was he? He moved to Ipswich. He wasn't starting. Now he's probably in the team. He's a possibility. But the point I'm saying is that we can't think about all the players now. That's what the coach is supposed to do. We can't do his job. That means he play deeper and the whole fan base would cuss him playing wider or behind the striker. Nah, I don't. I think Dwight Neal can run from box to box. Watch the kid play for years. Thank you, US, for the whooping. I'm telling you. Best whooping ever, Ala Madrid. Totally agree with that. Totally agree. 2 letting players who are waiting on England. TikTok, we agree to disagree. The 8 is how you want to play it, people. The 8 is how you want to play it. People are playing inverted now. Who's the US 8? Who's the US 8? Who's playing 8 for the US? Come on, people. Football is changing. It's not the same old traditional, I just sit in the spot and I'm locked in. Robinson was playing left wing 8 and left back against us. So Jason said, Cranky has never had any club number 8, regardless of what you think he can do. Yeah, well, yeah, I hear you. But people want King to play center back, to play CDM, right? It's interesting. No, Jason, I think he can play the 8. I want him in the 8. There are a lot of players who, by the way, people, let me just say this. Jason, this is for you, Jason. Where did Iwobi play at Arsenal, Jason? Jason Guna, we will play at Arsenal. When Newcastle bought Joe Linton, when Newcastle bought Joe Linton, what did they buy him from, Jason? This is your Jason Guna. Jason Guna, please inform me. When Newcastle bought Joe Linton, what did they buy him from Germany? What did they buy him to play? Where is he playing now? What was he will be acquired for? Where is he playing now? Iwobi played left wing, yes. Was he playing now for? What did he play at Everton after somebody got injured and they moved into midfield? Where does he play at Fulham? Where's Joe Linton playing now? Because the player has shown he can play there. It's not that difficult for him to play the 8 versus playing on the left wing. Because some Daesh have him running the entire full length of the field from one end to the next. He can keep the ball, he can pass the ball, he can put a square in, he can put a tackle in, he works 24/7. Yes. It's not a hard transition for him. No, I'm not shifting the goalpost. Because you're challenging Jason if he can play the 8. That's what you're saying. And I'm giving you examples of where somebody have transitioned to the 8 and it's worked brilliantly. And I've seen where McNeil played. When he replaced Gray in the Everton team, the way he was playing was almost like an 8. You see like how Ramsey played for Villa now? That's how he was playing. Is Ramsey a winger? This is for you, Jason Guna. Is Ramsey a winger? Or is he an 8? Where's he played all his life? And where's he playing now? Just saying. Is McGinn a winger? When he benched Bailey and he sold Diaby and do all that, where's he playing sometime McGinn? Football is changing, people. We got to adapt to the times. And some players of ability, because they've not been trained in certain position, doesn't mean it can't work. Look at the player. Look at the versatility. Look at their stamina. Look at their ball control. Look at the ability to dip a shoulder. Look at the ability to make a pass. Look at the ability to run off the ball. Look at the ability to tackle. Then come back and talk to me about whether or not they can transition. He's on the left side. He's playing left wing. He played the entire left side. Does he have the skill to play in the midfield? He does. And I'm done on that topic. No, DW, because that's what Iwobi has done. Joey Linton was a forward, people, a center forward. He's now a midfielder. Not by design, just because, what's his name, from Newcastle, had 10 men and he put him in there and he didn't take him out after that. Come on, people. It's an easy transition for McNeil. Much easier than Joey Linton transition from forward to midfield. Or he will be doing so. By that concept, Jason Gunnar, it will be a tackler. Because when I see Dwight McNeil, he's running 24/7. Oh, Lord. No, make my bed. No, dread. Train me. TikTok, we're doing the life out here, people. TikTok, we're doing the life out here. Live out here. We need 8 and we don't have no 8. We'll convert McNeil to 8. And we know McNeil can play the 8. Reggae McClaren doesn't want these players to play for Jamaica away, which is a better for England, not Jamaica. Yeah, but I think McClaren is now getting desperate. Hey, people, let me tell some people. Let me drink some water when talking about this, because we have to have a conversation. People have to have a conversation. All coaches want to win. Not debatable. So yes, McClaren may have an affiliation with England. He may feel an obligation to England, but he wants to win. Now, would he have reviewed would he have tried to recruit a Palmer, a Smith Rowe, all of that? Maybe not, if they're eligible to play for Jamaica. But I think he's now saying, we're not where we need to be. And if I don't careful, Costa Rica, Panama, and him talk about Honduras will nip us for those automatic spots in this region. I have to get better players. My midfield is not sufficient. Some of my forwards are not sufficient. I have to force some of my forwards to play more defense and make them sure they have replacement and they won't be in the team. I have to make Grayley and Bailey fear for their game to force them to do something they may not be able to do, so they go sit on the bench. I think he's now realized that, you know what? We're not good enough. We can't compete with the US. We're out of our depth. I need better players. Because I don't own this because I'm not responsible from what he's saying. He's basically saying he's not responsible because he blamed the players. So if that's the case, you got to get better players. If my tools are not good enough, I got to get better tools. I don't think Dwight McNeil is poor defensively. First of all, nobody in Sam Dyche's team is poor defensively in terms of running back and trying to put a foot in. None. I don't disagree. I disagree. Jason Guna, we agree to disagree. We agree to disagree, Jason Guna. Jason, we agree to disagree. I understand what you're saying, but you agree to disagree. Yeah, but the coach has to be very careful, Hala Madrid. It's one thing to want to go bench certain players, but when the players have pedigree, it's harder to bench them. Now, if you have ample replacement who are producing, because here's the thing, people, which is kind of funny. I'm not beating Bailey, people. I'm just pointing on some stats. Bailey has played 32 games for Jamaica, scored 5 goals. Damari Gray, who has regressed. Thank you, Nitro. Thank you, Nitro. Because I don't know what Jason Guna talk about. And I respect Jason Guna's intellect and ability to decipher teams and players, but Jason, you missed this one. Trust me. One thing is, people, I watch Everton a lot because wherever Arsenal players go, which is where we went, which is where what's his name from Arsenal went before him. Walcott went. Theo Walcott went. I was a big Theo Walcott fan, even though people say he didn't have a footballing brain, but I love Theo Walcott for some reason. I watch Everton a lot because of that. And I watched this kid and said, I would love him in my team. And he gets better when he gets older, even though he was waiting for England. So anyway, yeah, I don't agree with Jason, but, we can agree to disagree. So they say he has work rate, but he's not tackling people drunk. He can play well and get ground training. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Jason, but we agree to disagree, Jason. And if he played on the left side, we wouldn't be struggling. First of all, we'd be tracking people against the US, and he wouldn't look lost when he gets the ball. Yeah, no, I can understand what you're saying, Jason, but I think he can play there. With his energy, he can play there. Okay. You're thinking about Mitchell, right, DW? You're thinking about Mitchell. I'm not overly concerned about getting Mitchell, to be honest. I think Mitchell want to play for England, and even though they keep leaving him on the side, even when they have no left back, I never put other people at left back, him still have England hope. I don't want to pressure anybody who doesn't want to come, but I want us to make a compelling case for them to come. If they say, look, I'm not playing with Jamaica in any way, like Hayden said at one point, he eventually came, I would, like Hutchinson, like other players, I would say, you know what? You don't want to come. We can't convince you, but we have gone with our best presentation to them, outlining the benefits to be derived from playing for us. And they said, no, I don't want to play. And we said, okay, fine, let me move on. But have a hierarchy of prioritizing the player based on need and based on capability, and go through the hierarchy and come up with a compelling strategy to recruit the player to bring them on board. And if you have done that and it failed, we're fine. But do something. Don't let something do you. You do something. Bailey got the prayer system right. Don't hear anybody talking about that. Yeah, I am. Maybe I missed that. I don't know. Maybe because we think about Alan Blair, he should have an assist and goal, not pre-assist. But hey, I didn't beat Bailey about that game because I thought he was trying. I just don't think he's good enough. Someone says, King, Jay, he was good on the ball, but poor officer, it was about half good, half bad. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. Nigel says, by the way, Jason, McNeil is not scoring goals. You remember McNeil used to be a brilliant crosser, but couldn't do over the bar. McNeil is not scoring goal. Right? McNeil never used to score, Good play until you get to the final third of his scoring. Now he starts scoring goal. Got a lot of confidence from his coach. Can you do me a favor? I'm trying to watch Busy Sky. Busy versus Sky? What's that, DW? I think I've seen that someplace now. No, McNeil is a ridiculous cross of the ball, people. One of the best crossers of the ball in the world. I'm not biting my tongue on that. One of the best crossers of the football in the world, period. Not best crosser in Everton. No. You watch him cross that ball. 50 yards and a dime on your head. Ridiculous. Can he play the 10? I don't know if he can play the 10. But he's a very versatile footballer with a ridiculous left foot who would make Nicholson and Antonio look good with those crosses. We can't even get no cross from our wingers to go on a forward head. Right? You can put the ball on a dime in that crossing, 40 yards and a dime in the box. You see that cross that you saw when Newcastle played Arsenal and they scored against us? Those kind of cross McNeil put in, people. And I'm sure Antonio would love him to be on the left wing, putting that ball or on the right wing, put the ball in the box. Wherever he plays, doesn't matter. Okay, now he's very versatile, Nitro. So if he's playing left wing and play the 10, he must say, I'm playing the 8. That's what we need for the 8. So TikTok says, who said we have been doing that? Nobody's getting young players before McClaren. The good ones are waiting on England. Okay, let me skip around because TikTok. You know, TikTok, sometimes we come here and talk on TikTok. We don't talk from our bottom of our foot on TikTok. We actually got intelligence from informed sources to provide to the audience. We don't just come here and talk TikTok how we like to talk. We actually do our research. We actually talk to people, sometimes in the administration TikTok, about what they do or don't do. We talk to people like Devon who actually do recruiting TikTok, not the JFF. Because the JFF doesn't do a ton of recruiting as they should. They just don't. Come on. No, Dan, if we can get that kid, it's a big deal, big deal. His work rate is ridiculous. Work rate is ridiculous. And his left foot is ridiculous. Right? He can control the ball, he can pass the ball. He'll be an asset. He'll be right in the team at left. Imagine people. We have Hayden playing the 6, McNeil playing the 8, even though Jason Gooden agreed with me. Ravel playing the 10. Kyle Walker Peters at right back. Pinnock and somebody else at center back. Because I beat me about King. Somebody I put King in there. Maybe the same left back or somebody else. Greenwood on the right wing. Somebody at center forward and somebody on the left wing. Cephas on the left wing. I mean, I'll get beaten. Say, cranky, man, fast and foolish. No, I'm telling you, it's a better team. Well, Dan, if Lee Carsley hasn't called him, I don't know when he's going to get called. But if we wait and pontificate and procrastinate, then he's going to get called. But it's hard for him to get called now, you know, with Gordon and Palmer. And what's the kid that played right wing for Chelsea? And then will come to me. And with those kids that are solidified in their position, and then you have on the periphery the Rashfords of the world, the Grealish of the world, it's going to be hard for him, right, to get in the team. So if Lee Carsley didn't call him, because what Lee Carsley was doing, he called everybody. Gomez, Gibbs, he can call everybody, trying to cap all of them. If he didn't get called, it's going to be hard for him to get called going forward. Yes, done. And I said Cephas until we can do better. But right now, I put Cephas out there instead of Gray. Sorry. But the point I'm trying to make people is that we got to go pursue these players hard. We got to play him, convince him hard that he should come. Be getting beaten by the U.S. help and didn't help. Help in that, you know what? We know we have vulnerabilities. We need help. Didn't help in that. You look at it as Matt, like, why when I come flying 9 hours, it's going to get beaten? You know that. We go work up and get yourself embarrassed. But there are other players out there, I'm sure, who are younger, who have ability, who have potential that we can also consider. This concept about, we need to close on the team. Close on which team? You see the team not good enough. People, stop that nonsense about cranky. We're not recruiting for every day until the team is not good enough, people. It's not good enough. We struggle against the better team. We struggle against Honduras. We got swapped by the US. We barely beat Dominican Republic. Stop, people, stop. We need better players. The coach says not him as a player. So, you know what? If he can't produce strategically and we have him, we have to get better players. We have to get better players, people. We can't keep saying, we have too many players coming in. We're chop and changing. Because what we have is not good enough. Bless up Jamaica vibes. Bless up Mr. Trump. You call him Mr. Trump. Bless up Mr. Trump. Bless up Mr. Trump. Good night, Trump. Good night, Trump. Now, King J, we have to revisit that view. There's a difference between I don't want to play for Jamaica and I want to play for England. Right? I can want to play for England instead of Jamaica because I was born in England, I grew up in England, I went through England system, I'm English. That's okay. I have no problem with that. But I want people to keep on with this narrative about I don't want to play for Jamaica. Because some people in Jamaica don't want you to play for them. They want JPL players. Now, I'm not knocking JPL players, but they just want JPL players. They don't want you. I hear it on Maverick program. I'm going to call it Maverick again. Not Maverick. I hear it on LSM program. I hear it on LSM Sports Explosion program. Where someone said, England run them for go. Why you name Pepper? I say him name. The Englishman, if you go with them, are you? The man, there's some fool. And be if you go with them, the man, you're an idiot. Man, JPL can play better little man. And then the man LSM, I say, yeah, man, hey, Pepper, watch it, Pepper, man. Pepper, where you are? Say, hey, Pepper, hey, Pepper, we are talking about the Pepper. That's what we hear all the time, people. Man is joking about these things and making fun and beating them instead of saying, you know what? Maybe some of the players who have come and who have become naturalized, we need to reconsider whether they're what we need for the positions and with the gaps that we have. No, that's not what it is. And then another man call something else, say, yeah, man, they're a fool, hey, Pepper, right, down a corner, hey, Trenchtown, Jonestown, Rima, Gaza, Yellow, yeah, man, bless up. So, and you sit down and think, man, yeah, it's entertaining, but is it informative? Yeah, Juras, yeah, right. So emulate the man, Juras. I'm emulating what I hear on the program. Yeah, man, hey, Johnstown, Dongawaf, Carnation Market, bless up, you with us, yeah, do you right, do my youth? There. Yeah, man. Hey, I tell you now. LSM. And LSM said, yeah, man, you're all right. Yeah, man. You know where I go. And I'm sitting here listening to it. That's why I called in that day and people and say, are you getting your go on my youth? You encourage slackness, you encourage divisiveness, and the man get best and say, boy, hey, cranky, you're done, so no. I said, you know what? The diaspora send back enough remittance, and a man come and say, oh, you have supported people at Jamaica, we talk about remittance. What have to do with the slice of bread? I say, it all interrelates. Maybe you can do the connection, right? But no, man, Pepper this and Pepper that, and the Englishman, if you go to my phone, we got to stadium, and man got and they play well. And I said, yeah, think, but you went to the stadium for Christ's sake. You paid $10, probably get the ticket free because he gave you a ticket free. You ain't doing nothing. You could take a bus and walk from Ashford and go out and stadium. When you see people like AQ, a fly to Nicaragua, a fly go Dallas, a fly go St. Louis, fly up Miami, fly, come see them, when we go see them, AQ, Errol, and you say, you're a big fan. You're a big fan, people, you're a big fan. Then if you're a big fan, LSM, you know, if you come to America, come and give you a visa. But you're a big fan, you're not a big fan, you're a fraud, but you're a big fan. You're a fraud. You want to call people, don't you? You're a fraud, LSM. You them fear with a fan who got to get them close to your yard and they're not going to the game. Then you come denigrate YouTubers about and because YouTube man I gotta ask questions, so we have to leave. Me, you don't ask questions as regular media. I'm not ready either, like a YouTuber them. I'm not ready either. I'm not see thing. So we need people in the entertainment section of the program. You have the same thing like them, you know. Yeah, beat the YouTuber them and not ask no better question than YouTuber. In fact, YouTubers' questions are much better than yours and your colleagues' questions. So when you denigrate and belittle and disparage YouTubers, right? When you do all of that and you ask your question with some half shirt, but now under 14 question, are you come and ask question, but you're from this organization? You have to laugh. I said, really? Is that it? McClaren must be sitting there saying, damn, I have to listen to these people. Some of these people, really? Now, I'm not beating YouTubers, I'm beating regular media, but I'm saying don't belittle people unless you're at the zenith and you're excellent. Don't do that. Right? Don't do that. So when I come on the program and say, you know what, don't be xenophobic and try to run with the Englishman them. I agree some of the English players may not be at the level we need them to be. Right? I agree some of the English players probably shouldn't have gotten a call. I don't disagree with that. But if you don't have better, what are you going to do? And the coach hasn't done his homework to be able to identify the better players for the team. To me, that's not debatable. He hasn't been putting in the work. I don't care what he says. In my view, he hasn't put the work in. So unless he puts the work in, which he realizes he has to do because he's gonna somehow affect his resume and his legacy, and he's able to get to the World Cup, he probably thinks it's gonna be an easy job. We have some English players and people in this part of the world are good, and he realized, oh my God, Honduras, oh no, US, Jesus, we're out of whack. Oh, I'm looking bad. People in England looking at me like, what are you doing, McClaren? Why you even take this job in the first place? Different story. Right? Different story, people. Different story. So, yes, TikTok. Everything's subject. TikTok. Don't do like the people on the radio station, TikTok. Don't just try to challenge everything, TikTok. The coach himself is saying he needs better players. He don't try to catch himself. The coach said that. Let him catch himself and realize what him just said. So TikTok, don't try to dispute what the coach has said. I don't think it have anything to do with commitment, people. We are confusing the concept of commitment. And none of it don't commitment. Professional football players are professional. Then play football, then play football. It has to do with ability. And we're conflating ability with commitment. I'm not buying the commitment stuff. Now, yes, some may not leaving, then come here if they have a little niggle. Because them no affect them career. That may not just be for them. Bows up, skip window, BLA skip window. Are they not committed? I don't think it's a commit. We got to think about that commitment because we all believe that they should just break their neck to come play for Jamaica for what sometime. Come play a Nation League game and then got no benefit out of it. I don't think that's commitment. I think it's ability, technical ability, physical ability, it's ability to me. We see these players play, even when they play in England. If I told you my 3 forwards have scored 1 goal in 30-something games, is that commitment? They're not committed for their club team? If I see Lati only playing defense and not playing midfield, is that commitment? No, I don't think it's commitment. Now, there may be some players who are not committed. I'm not going to dispute that. But do we know who those players are? TikTok says he knows. I know, Football Guru thinks that he knows. Because Football Guru and TikTok seem to be the same person. I think one of them said they knows when somebody's not committed. Because we had an argument on, I think it was Jason Guna's channel. By the way, people, Jason Guna TV, go subscribe. Does a really good job, except about Dwight McNeil. But otherwise, he's great. Okay? Because he disagrees with me. So I'm going to call him out. Rico Henry. Didn't Rico tear up his knee? I think Rico tear his knee up. And I don't think Rico recovered. But Rico is a good option at left back, actually. There are players out there who are waiting for England who will not get into an England team. And I think we can get them. We have to make it attractive, people. Can I fly them in a plane where I broke down? Sorry, JFF, but I was playing broke down in time. But them not good playing. Yeah, J-Russ, I don't think we should look, people, these people are naturalized citizens of Jamaica. That means they're citizens, just like how a lot of us are citizens of the US, naturalized, which Trump won't get rid of, right? They have Jamaican lineage. Some of us don't have any US lineage. We should embrace them, not belittle them. LSM, you know what LSM mean, Roman? Look up LSM, man. Look up. We give out LSM, not talk about that again. We should embrace them, not make them feel like they're foreigners. They're already foreigners in their own country, people. You're the coach in that the other day. Wouldn't that pick up certain things from the coach, you know? The coach said, oh, the boy, them get together and they're Jamaica, the vibes good. But you know what? Them are Jamaica, them love the food, them grow up on the food, them love the country. Them element. They not have to worry about, what look on them a certain way because them not look like them. Because they're not the majority in that country. They expect for you to come and embrace them when they come and you give them a hard time. That's not good. I come to play for you, for you. I'm playing for you and playing for myself and my family. My dad want me to play for you. I come play for you and then you tell me no good me for go away. Because me a foreigner and a xenophobic. How would I feel? Why would I even come back? He says we also need better players and the door's open when we ask about his recruitment strategy. Hey, TikTok, sometimes you write yourself in a circle. He says we always need better players. No, he's saying we need better players. Stop. His coaches speak. Me not put up no more TikTok comment. Cause him just chill. It's like the man, if you put here's the bread and here's the butter on the bread. You have to interpret certain things, TikTok. It's not that complex. Who tell you RSL short, by the way? Me not know. Me see him chat to me. Me not see him. Him care at all on him. But anyway, that's just my view. If he's not shot, then so be it. Him look shot to me. Jera says, a crank, a lot of Jamaicans are a prominent position, lack integrity and emotional intelligence, and use their influence to corrupt these. Yeah, I think he wants to be a man of the people. That's the way I view it. But he doesn't always influence the people in the right way. Him support, I think call it Jamaica Efri. He does. And I have a problem with that. I don't say you can't joke, have fun, be the man of the people, but you have a platform, which is a far-reaching platform, and you're a very smart person. I think sometimes you're manipulating those people. You're not helping, you're manipulating them. And I'm going to call you out. And especially if you disrespect me, that made the call out even easier. It's both figuratively and otherwise. Jason Kuna, it's a combination. It's a combination, Jason Kuna. That meaning has a number of meaning to it. It could be the actual person's physical stature. It could be how the person communicate, engage. It could be how they articulate themselves. All that meaning is combined in that one thing, right? All is in there. It could be small-mindedness, all in that one LSM. Actually, I've called him LSM from now on. I'm not calling him Maverick no more, people. I'm not calling him Oral no more. So I say LSM from now on. LSM him name. Because his thought process sometimes is in the dirt. And when you agree with a man who call me dunce, No, we're not. We take it personal. We feelings hurt, so we'll come back at you hard. We not stop come back hard at you in that dirt too. So we stay. We not them thing the master. Yeah. Somebody texted me about something I was reading it, people. Yeah. 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 So yeah. And by the way, TikTok, you're not as informed as you think you are. Seriously, TikTok. Because we can have the conversation TikTok. You're not as informed as you think you are. You're not as smart as you think you are either. I know you think you're brilliant. I know you think you're smart. I know you think you can be the devil's advocate in the room and the contrary in the room, but you're sometimes not as smart as you think you are. And I have to laugh because sometimes I'm giving you facts and you're disputing it and you're talking a certain way. And sometimes you don't have the awareness to interpret certain things a certain way, but you do literally. And I'm laughing because you believe that you're so brilliant. You have to put all your perspective on the table. Everybody see how smart you are. You're contrarian and we are wrong because Low is better than everybody else or this or Blit no good like Ricketts. And there's a different of opinion. But some things that you talk about, I just smile and said, okay. It's hard to argue with you. One Love says, blessings, Cranky and the crew. Our coach has no imagination, so he's unable to get the best out of the players at his disposal. No, One Love, the man said the player them faulting up. People, go watch a press conference. You hear me complain about any leader worth their salt says the buck stops with me. I make the decisions. I'm the one who put them on the field. I'm the one who coached them. I'm the one who set up the strategy and how we play. So I own it. And then you can say, but some of my players need to do better, and I'm going to make sure they do better. That's it. Okay. I hear you, TikTok. I'm wrong, TikTok. You're right. Because you're always right. You don't have to interpret everything. It's all literal. You're always right. The man just talked about how much recruiting he's going to be doing between now and March. Didn't the man talk about that? He didn't talk about that before as much. The man was pushing back against English players and identifying younger players. The man didn't throw that thing out with the bathwater. From right now going forward, the man is basically saying, I saw what I need to see. I need better players. It ain't rocket science. TikTok, you're so annoying sometimes, TikTok. It's amazing. I have to say that. And it's not good me saying that, but I just listen to you sometimes like, did you hear what the man just said? The man was there basically saying he's the right for people to play for England. He ain't a recruit. And all of a sudden, he's basically saying, stop. This ain't working for me. They just kicked or you know what. I have to change this. I'm going to go get whatever best players I can get because it's me is going to be looked upon, not somebody. I want to go to the World Cup and bring my team. I failed with England. I got fired in a year. I have to go to the World Cup because the World Cup is a great place to be. It's going to confirm my legacy. I'm going to get the best players. That's exactly what he's saying. And if you can't see that TikTok, I can't talk to you. Seriously. It's hard getting engaged with your TikTok. People like you are frustrating. You're in the back of this room and the class just killing it. And you're just like, oh, man, it's hard. And people are like, why you give TikTok time? Because I try to, if you can convert the most difficult person in the room, then you've accomplished your task. Sometimes you just have to give up. So maybe I have to give up with you. Yeah, he's a contrarian. It's everything. If you say blue, he say black. And you're like, why you say black? Because blue is wrong. Well, why is blue wrong? Because it's black. No, it's not black. It's blue. No, it's close. It's dark. That's TikTok. Yeah, man, Posh. But here's the problem I have with Nitro. He didn't say Posh kicked my you know what. He basically said it was the players. He put the players to the slaughter. Good coaches don't do that. Somebody's like, well, that's how. No, good coaches don't do that. Well, I think better players will cover some of the flaws of the coach. Right? That's what better players will do. I have no idea why Hagrim took the Ireland job, you know. It's like the man who said, I'm going to quit suicide, but I don't want to be in Jamaica. It's so bad. It was that bad, Al Grimson, because you weren't doing terribly, you know. You didn't do well in Copa. You made some bad decisions, but then you were given up. Most of the bloggers actually crank as if they have intimate knowledge of the JFF. How do I respond to this? It's not about the JFF. So let me respond to TikTok in this way, saying, I don't have an intimate knowledge of JFF. I used to have a relationship there. I have burned some of them, or they have burned the relationship. And I used to get some inside information, which I no longer get for some of them, because I have to manage what I say sometimes. But I still get information from very good sources. Very good sources. I don't come on YouTube and say something I don't know. If I speculate, if I'm pontificating, if I'm here providing an opinion, that's different from me saying it's facts. If I came and tell you that Mason Greenwood, people say there's one people in Jamaica, I said, well, that's not true, because the source I have saying that's not true. That means that someone have told me this, who I think is in a position to know. My history TikTok is this. I was an auditor, some of the best companies in the world. And as an auditor, you deal with, so TikTok, let me go there, TikTok. Since you want me to go there to shut your ass up. I used to work for the best companies in the world, some of the best companies in the world doing audits, which means we get a substantive evidence to verify and substantiate the veracity of something. That's what we did, TikTok, because you just keeps annoying me. So let me try to shut you up. So TikTok, give me information. I'll send you my resume, TikTok, so you can just shut the hell up. Because you just annoy the hell out of me, because you have no idea what you're talking about. Sometimes you're clueless. You get me in this rant sometimes because you're annoying. And I like to shut people up who like to talk. So when you come on here, you and Football Guru, and even Rudolph Speed, and says, well, you don't know better than the auditors at Concacaf, no better than the auditors at FIFA. And I said, I may know as much as them, I'm more than them. And you guys protest and go in your world and try to convince people otherwise. You're talking nonsense. And my resume speaks for itself, and I can send it to you. Go on LinkedIn. I'm going to give my name. Go on LinkedIn, then shut the hell up. And don't have to come back. Because you're annoying the hell out of me with your nonsense. You do it all the time. And then I get emotive and perturbed. So I'm going to say this, TikTok, to shut you up from once and for all. Talk to Speed, let him give you my resume, and then go away. Me done talk to you. So what are we talking about now, people? Me done talk to you. Me done talk to you, TikTok. Now put your comment, me done talk. Go talk to Speed. I sent him my LinkedIn profile. Take it from him and then shut up. Then shut up. Go away. Because you just annoy me. So what are we talking about, people? I'm not from JD school. I'm not from JD school. I'm not JD. JD, and I'm JD. I'm not from JD school. I told you what to do. Go talk to Rudolph Speed, who you know. I sent him my profile because you have the same question you have. Then come talk to me, TikTok. Otherwise, don't talk to me. Tell you that right now. Don't talk to me. Some people, let's talk about what we're talking about. So I do think, because he's annoying. He's annoying, and he likes to challenge me about things which makes no sense. Because him and people like Rudolph Speed, us in Jamaica, be that the only people with brain. We in the diaspora just like to comment and criticize. We don't have any facts. We don't have any circumstances. We say we have, and you want to compare me to other YouTubers. I am cranky. I'm not other YouTubers. I'm me. Right? I am me. I do my thing. I come here and I try to provide information and get information. Don't compare me to anybody else. I'm not another YouTuber. I am cranky. Right? I don't tell you. Go check with Speed and come back and talk to me then. Because you guys challenge me, my reputation, my skill set, my knowledge. And it's fine. You can challenge. But if I give you facts, walk away with the facts and shut the hell up. And then people say, cranky, you get too upset, man. Don't get upset. Yeah, because he's annoying. And people say I should ban him. I'm not banning him. I don't have to see their up there. I don't have to see their profile, TikTok. I'll put it up. I don't have to see their profile. Does Messi have to send his profile to anybody? Let me stop. I don't have to see their profile, TikTok. I don't have to see their profile. I'm going to give you my profile. Then you can go talk. But you probably can't even read it anyway because you're a TikTok. Cranky. How about Greenwood back in the 10 FIFA? Sorry. Yeah, Javari. I do think Greenwood can play a lot across the front line. No, the truth hurts. What truth? What is TikTok talking about? TikTok, go away. Be a fly on the wall. Don't cry, Jason. Hey, Trump star. We talk about Trump star. We talk about Trump star. We don't cry. We don't say nobody parents doing them. Of course, nobody parents, you know. Should I say? I didn't cause anybody parents. I just expressed myself strongly. I'm not crying. Jamaica vibes. You'll be crying when Trump deport you, though. You're done there. When Trump deport you, you'll cry. If you're naturalized, he won't deport you. You're done there. At least I have military background. Can help me, save me from being deported. Because I'm not American born. You're going to get deported to Jamaica back. I'm sure Jamaica you're born. You stay there. And when you take off the glasses and you see your eye them clear as day before you start crying, you're done there. You're done there. You stay there, Jamaica Vibes who support Trump. And you think you might look by your color and say, you know what, you got to go. You have to go. You don't work for no Trump. Trump now hire you unless you're working at the kitchen or the field. They have the black job, like him say. Now hire Jamaica Vibes. He will never hire you. You have to. You see what he did? When you see all his profile, Jamaica Vibes, you see anybody look like you around him? He was the senator from South Carolina. Where is he? He's not even getting any position, is he? That senator from South Carolina who did what with him to get into his degree, not happening. Bobby Reed can play the double pivot. Javari. Bobby Reed can play the double pivot. Bobby Reed can play the double pivot. Definitely play the double pivot. But I think Bobby's not even playing for Leicester, you know. That's part of the problem I have. The problem we have is this. We all get excited. You send me proof? Okay. Send me proof, Jamaica Vibe. Send me proof. 347-728-8625. You don't put up my number. Hey, TikTok, text me information. TikTok. I'm dead serious, TikTok. Text me information. No, text me your YouTube profile. My LinkedIn profile. You have me TikTok? Text me your information. Here's a number of people. For those of you who want to text me information, I want TikTok to go away permanently so I can shut his up. So TikTok, there is my number. Text me the information, TikTok, that where your contact information is. I will send you, but you can't text me because you don't want me to know who you are. So you can't do that. So that's your problem. You're undercover. You're in your basement, watching TV, criticizing, but you can't show yourself. You have to be covert. You can't be overt. Cranky JFF agent trying to move the post, run the show. Yeah, I know. But I want him to just go away. Cranky, do you still have clearance? No, I don't have any clearance. I don't have any clearance. Yeah, but look at our people. Here's a good point, actually, people. So we all getting excited about Premier League players. How many players in our team are regular starter in the Premier League and playing substantive minute and producing? Let's think about the Premier League players. Marbella was in Premier League, no more. Bobby Reed in Premier League, was at Fulham, no at Leicester, not getting a lot of playing time. Bailey at Villa, playing Champions League, not getting a ton of playing time. Ramsey replaced him, McGinn replaced him. When he gets playing time, he's not producing. Hasn't scored a goal all season. Antonio at West Ham, 1 goal all season. His competition is hurt because what's his name is not playing well. Was there from Southampton? The kid away from Germany is hurt. When he gets better, Antonio may be on the bench or coming off the bench. He may not be the starter. And he has not been scored. He scored 1 goal all season. That's our frontline people. The only player in the Premier League playing consistently, playing well, playing above norm is Pinnock. I don't think there's another player in the Premier League playing for us. So where we expect them to come here and be hitting the ball off the cover when they're playing against the Musas and the Pulisics of the world and the Robinson of the world who are regular starter. What do we expect? Oh, Lord, Jamaica Vibes. You know Jamaica Vibes. I love that. You set me up. Good one. Yeah, Pinnock is the only one producing. Yeah, Bailey is not playing, as not scoring, and Antonio is not scoring. So then should we be surprised? I mean, unless you're texting information and credentials of the current FIFA auditors and Concur auditors, don't bother with it, Cranky. It doesn't make sense to me. So let me say this. TikTok. You're challenged. You're really challenged, TikTok. You're really challenged. I just realized that you don't know what you're talking about. TikTok, you know what, TikTok? I should not be shocked when a contrarian doesn't know how to take information, process it, discern it, and then make it inform them about certain things. If I tell you that Dennis Chung works in Jamaica for these companies, he was on a president for this company, or was a MD in this company, and he's done XYZ, it informs you about that person's resume. You can then say, you know what? A FIFA auditor, a Concur auditor, you can look it up online because they have financial statements. You can say they work at PwC, they work at Deloitte, they work at KPMG, they work at, what's the other firm? There's 4 firms, right? Top 4 firms in the world. They work for these companies. And you may not know their pedigree and background because you know what? They have partner, manager, senior manager, and they have staff, right? They have levels, right? And you can say, you know what? Equate it to football. Somebody played in Premier League. They were starting in the Premier League. They got to a certain level. So you can look at their levels, where they came from, you can do a comparison. You may not know the person individually. It's not hard for TikTok, but you can't do that because you don't have the capability to do that. So I understand what you're saying. So I'm going to stop talking to you. You don't have the capability to do that. If you show me their resume and they say they work at Morgan Stanley and they were managing director, I could say, you know what? Yeah, I know. And they're in marketing, or they're in finance, or they're in audit, or they're in a portfolio manager, or they're a trader, or they're an investment banker. I can come up with a view as to what that person's capabilities are. I don't need to go to some comparative to do so. And then I can say, okay, who are they comparing against? They're at Morgan Stanley. They may be somebody at Goldman Sachs. They may be somebody at Citibank. They may do something at JP Morgan Chase, right? That's what you do. So I'm trying to educate you, TikTok, because you talk a lot, but you don't know a lot. But you wouldn't understand that because you're in your little bubble. Stay in your bubble. Stay in your bubble. But if you know better, TikTok, you can't compare auditors that way. It doesn't work that way, TikTok. But I'm trying to educate you, but you're not listening. I'm trying to educate you, TikTok, but you're not listening. I'm trying to educate you, but you're not listening. You're the one that's silly. You're calling me silly. You're the one that's silly. You don't know anything. Here's another bad thing about TikTok. I'm trying to inform and educate you, but you're not listening. So we're done. I mean this time, we're done. You are clueless. Clueless, like really bad. Nitro Smith Rowe was not playing at Arsenal. Look at him in Fulham. Yeah, but he wasn't playing because he's not good in the Nitro. He wasn't playing because injuries derailed him. You remember the year before Odegaard came when he played with him. What's his name that went to France now? Lacazette. Him, Lacazette, Saka were destroying Chelsea when we beat them 3, and he scored about 8 to 10 goals that season. And then injuries just derailed him, right? So it wasn't that he wasn't good. It was that he had injuries. So subsequent to that, Odegaard came in and displaced him. And as we know, Smith Rowe is a beautiful footballer, just pleasant to the eyes, but doesn't have a clear position. So he's not a clear 10. He's a person who can score goals, but he can't make that pass that just like Odegaard does that destroys a defense. And Odegaard is a harder worker. Smith Rowe, he tries. He's like a McGee. Let me not do that because it's a bad comparison. But defensively, Smith Rowe is not the best. When we played Liverpool one year, they put Odegaard at the 8 and put him at the 10, and we got destroyed because defensively they were challenged. But he's a really, really good. I love Smith Rowe as a footballer. He's a brilliant footballer. Brilliant footballer. Brilliant footballer. Trust me. I get these texts. So Jamaica Vibes, must be Jamaica Vibes, send me a picture. That can't be you, Jamaica Vibes. If it's you, I'm impressed. Now, are you no, that's not you, Jamaica Vibes. You send me a picture of a man. I need something to substantiate this you. But you say you don't really work for him. You work for the government. Stop that, Jamaica. If that's you, Jamaica Vibes. Because I think that must be you to send me this photo. Is that you, or is that because you work for him indirectly, Jamaica Vibes? Let me just say that. By the way, if that's you, I'm impressed because I was in the military. I can't make out what's on the shoulder though. Are you enlisted or officer? Sorry, I didn't see your comment. Sorry, I apologize, Jamaica Vibes. But if that's you, I'm impressed. Seriously, if that's you, I'm impressed. If that's you, I'm impressed. No, are you still there or are you retired? Let me know. I apologize, Jamaica Vibes. I didn't realize that you didn't want me to mention this. You should be proud of that. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. I don't impress easily, by the way. Javar says, we need like midfielders as well for depth. Yeah, we need more people. We need better players. I can't tell if it's you, Jamaica Vibes. That could be anybody. Because this person doesn't have on glasses. They look older than your picture. I can't see if this is you. If it's you, I'm impressed, actually. But if it's not, you must be sending me some of the picture. Anybody can take a picture and send to me, I need more proof. not like TikTok. It's clueless. So Football One says the host right commented that Big Boys company that specializes in that financial advice just stopped now a football reason me out here. Yeah, and football. Why are you guys at the football? You gotta change football. You gotta change. Let me say this, people, because part of my job here is to try to help myself and help you. When people digress from just a football conversation, don't like you even say, Cranky, stop that. We just talk football. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself. That's what I talk about. Don't limit yourself. Yeah, limit yourself. I say that. Expand your horizon. Don't just say, just start the football match and go with them nonsense. We're not there on the corner. This program is not on the corner program. There are some programs like that. I am not an on the corner person. Go to watch LSM. You want on the corner discussion. Okay, I'm not on the corner. I'm not on the corner conversation. It's more than on the corner. Some of it may be on the corner, but most of it is not on the corner. To your random clue that you want. Tell me what branch of the service, what level you're at, and I can go do some research and see if it's really you. Because I have the name, and I can't remember. They text me, they have the name. So we need more information. You know what? Send me a picture of the one you have on your profile and one with this, and let me do a comparison. Let me get a photo expert. No, Dre, me there, man. Me there. Me not leave yet. Long time me there now. 3 hours I'm going strong. That's the boardroom. That's not the boardroom. That's not the boardroom. No, but I mean, people come in and say, Crunk, you stop talking that. Just talk the football now, man. We've been talking football for 3 hours, people. I nothing want to hit the like button. Who named LSM? People, let me tell you, who named LSM? we don't talk on the corner, people. We're not up on the corner at Gaza talk. Right? That may happen sometime, but we're not on the corner. Because some people like the on the corner football now. Yeah, man, vibes thing. We're not like the coach. We're not in vibes thing. Vibes has this place, but we're not all on the vibes thing. All the coach I talk about that vibes. No strategy, no nothing. Not pure vibes you want to talk about. Like in my vibes, man. We're not like vibes thing. We're not on the corner, people. We want to have a good conversation, want to have a professional conversation. Sometimes it gets out of hand because the host get a little bit emotive and get perturbed, especially when TikTok try to give him a hard time and try to challenge him. All right, so the man, send me another picture. Let me see what these are. Man, I have enough ribbons there. So you buy enough ribbons, Jamaica Vibes. Money I run. You buy enough ribbons. Because enough ribbons you have now. You buy enough ribbons. We can't even make them out. You buy enough ribbons, Jamaica Vibes. You buy enough ribbons. Yeah, you have to come into the corner sometime when they go back to the boardroom. Of course, Jason, we're not on the kind of program, but we want to be a program of the people. Yeah, Jamaica Vibes. I think I have to maybe stand corrected. Yes, I like the button. And I know if everybody have in Jamaica Vibes. I'm impressed. But some Jamaicans everywhere do good things. So Jamaica Vibes. Yeah, I did phone. You know what? I have to put something on my phone. So I have to call it additional field. I put a name. Jamaica Vibes, I call it. Vibes Man. So you may phone a click people. Put in Vibes Man information. So I soon lock up people. I should lock up long time. No, we're not playing Ravel and Tyreek together. No, we're not do that. We're not do that. We change. Tyreek, Maggie, they put the bench out at the side. So Dre says, to be honest, I love how the coach gave everyone a chance. So he ain't called back some players may have nothing to say. He will not, people, let me tell you something. I think the coach has learned from this. He will not call back some players. I'm telling you. Some players are gone. Maybe not always for good. Bless up Jamaica Vibes. That's why you support Trump. I'm very surprised you support Trump, by the way, given your background. But, so you're not going to be deported. No, you won't be deported. You won't be deported. Yeah, right. Yeah, right, Jamaica Vibes. Yeah, all right. But I think he won't call back some people. I am almost sure he won't. He's going to look for some, hey, people, for every player that gets brought in, one player will lose their spot. I probably couldn't name some of the players I think will lose their spot, but we'll see what happens. I was given some information, by the way, but I don't want to talk about it. That's about some things, but I would say this. I think some players will lose their spot. Now, that's not been determined yet, who those players are, but I know that some players are challenged. So how we don't beat Antonio for missing the window? So DW didn't join me yesterday. I did beat Antonio for missing the window. I did beat Antonio for not having for having a academy in Ghana and none in Jamaica. I did beat Antonio for trying to fly 30-something thousands of miles, not 30-something, but 1,000 miles from Ghana to Jamaica or to US when he doesn't have a lot of window to do so. He did get beaten, DW. Trust me, he get beaten. I think it's inexcusable what he did. If you have a game in between, first of all, you've been in Jamaica with his team, supporting his team, because you have to be playing to support the team, because Holgate was there, and then you go to the US to play. He has no excuse. So him being gone now because agent is Ghanaian and all that, I'm not buying Antonio's crap. Sorry. He was disrespectful. But he ain't going to get benched because people like Claudio may beat me because he can't get benched. You know, he only scored 1 goal this season. What he did was disrespectful. You see, that's the reason people don't want to meet players anymore. If I met Antonio, I'd feel guilty about criticizing him. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful of him, but I would feel some sort of obligation not to call him out. Yeah, I don't know if he lost his passport or not. But I think the story is fishy. I don't know about him losing his passport. Well, what passport did he lose? People now buy the story there. Nonsense. Now buy it. Sorry, now buy it. He should have been in Jamaica. The same time he flew to Ghana, because when he was in Ghana interviewed, he talked about going to play for Jamaica, didn't he? If I remember correctly. I don't know where Holgate went, but he came to the game. So if he didn't go to Jamaica, he came to the game. It may have been cheaper for Holgate to fly, frankly. It may have been cheaper. No, he had to be in Jamaica. He played. That's where he got the red card, right? So he went to Jamaica. Holgate played in that game. Yeah, I don't know what he did, but Holgate went to Jamaica. He played in the game, so he got a red card. So somebody sent me something here about Antonio. Interesting. So the text I just got, they said people that run out their mouth behind me, like TikTok, they've been laughing. I got to text people that basically said, I'm going to summarize the text in Cranky's own way about Antonio. Let me summarize the text in Cranky's own way. And be careful. Let me drink some water first, people. So, people, you remember this. Let me say this, people. You remember this? Hey, coach. Let me tell you something, coach. So when you make certain statement, coach, be very careful. Because Jamaica not talk about, Because no secret. So people, sometimes on this program, I get texts, I've been on it long time, 3 hours, get texts. I'm going to summarize the text. It's basically said that, I have to laugh about this. It's my understanding from that text that Antonio didn't have a passport issue. Let me say it again, people. It's my understanding from the text I just got 2 seconds ago. So let me get the text. The text says 11:16. What time now? 11:17. Just get a text. Somebody hear me attack and I probably watch my program. Says the man didn't have a passport issue. He had a jet lag issue. Anyway, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. I just got the text and found out a jet lag issue. He had no passport issue. You hear me challenge the whole passport contract with Antonio from day one, that you can't go Africa and a fly come here if you come play a game. Superman. Now he has a football academy. He got interviewed and the guy asked him, how come Jamaica International Football Academy at Ghana? I'm saying agent. I think he asked him about the academy in Jamaica and he probably just, if I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong, find a way to evade the question. Why would a Jamaica International have part thing of Ghana? The first thing me asked myself, why not at Jamaica? My academy at Ghana, what about Jamaica? No, Jamaica International. That's what I thought. That's the first thing I thought. Somebody was asking the question about those streets. I don't think it was the reason why they're not, right? We talked about Pinnock being injured. Bobby Reed had a baby. Antonio went to something there. You think the scoreline would be different? No, it would have been the same thing. I don't think Antonio had a passport issue. I'm sorry, I don't. You have English visa, you get an ESTA. I told you about this. My brother was in Jamaica. He was trying to come to the US. He lives in Jamaica, by the way. He didn't realize he needed an ESTA because he used to travel here without it. He's at the airport, and I'm saying, you can't go to the ESTA, because he has a British passport, but he has a Jamaica passport too. And he got the confirmation same day. Now, my niece and nephew did file for ESTA. My nephew got it in 24 hours. My niece didn't get it at all. They wouldn't give him the ESTA, right? They were born in Jamaica, but they got a British passport. So I know how the ESTA process works, right? I'm not guessing how it works. I know it worked. If he didn't have a passport, how do you get from, is it his British passport got lost? Is it Jamaican passport that lost? So British passport, you can get an ESTA to come to the US. What was the rationale? And from the text I just got, it basically said, I never had no passport issue. That's all I hear. That's how I summarize it. That's not what the person said, that's how I summarize it. Yeah, we know Ghana have more people, but don't you have a little more obligation to Jamaica? Are you thinking Jamaica doesn't have the talent and Ghana have the talent so you can get better talent from Jamaica? Because it's a business, you know. It's a business deal. So maybe I'm wrong in saying that. It's a business. I'm trying to have academy. I want to have players. That's why we shouldn't beat Rudolph Speed them as much as we do, you know, because I try to sell players. I don't think they should do the national team to sell players, but yeah. Yeah. But he was jet lagged. I think he should I say this? It's my understanding Antonio may have either gotten to St. Louis, if I'm not mistaken, or he may have gotten to St. Louis people. I can't confirm that. People should ask the JFF that. Did Antonio get to St. Louis if you have a passport issue? Because he was funny people. He was funny people. You know when the coach was saying the passport thing, he wasn't genuine. And you look at Leon's face and you're like, why is he having that look on his face? So sometimes you can read body language. And I'm telling you that body language said a lot in that press conference. So I don't know. Maybe the truth will come out one day. But what I just got text say he never had a passport issue. Why didn't the coach just says, you know what? Something came up, he wasn't available. Why make up some story? If that's the case. I don't know if it's the case or that's the case. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know people. It's very strange. It's very disconcerting. It's not a good look for Antonio. Now, somebody says, is Antonio committed? I think he's committed, but I think he made a bad decision. Yeah, no, I think, that smirk was obvious, wasn't it, Nitro? That smirk basically said, hey, man, stop lie, star, stop lie. That's what a smirk said to me. Seriously, that's what a smirk said. Hey, man, you stop lying, man. Why you lie for the man for? Say something different. And if it's not true, and if he lied, no, your TikTok can make up. I'm not put up with TikTok. But I reluctant to come play with Bailey in the scope. I don't think that's it. I think Antonio just made a bad decision. Go to Ghana another time. I know there's not a lot of window for players to go, especially go look at their business interests, because you probably want to go there. It's a business. He invest in it. He's paying for the academy. Because they asked him about selling players, and he says there are a few players who are in the pipeline. Right? It's a business, but I'm not buying it. Ghana don't have scam culture. Interesting. I think he did too, Nitro. I think he did. One Love, we have moved on from that. One Love. Come on, One Love, man. We have moved on from that. We have moved on from who never... Antonio, Jamaica rejected him. Him reject Jamaica. We're at a different place now. He's one of the senior players in the team. He's a respected player. He has to function accordingly. I bet Bobby Reid wouldn't do that. Bobby Reid wouldn't Ghana. Even though I shouldn't say that. I don't know. But I guess. Yeah, no, my understanding is the man was jet lagged. Hey, people, let me tell you something. And I've said it before. I used to fly to Asia to do work, right? So I would leave. I leave Saturday morning and I would get there Sunday night or something like that. Because they're like almost like a day between you and your travel. And I realized that I would be okay Sunday night, but come Monday, midday, 3 p.m., I am dead. I remember one time I went with one of my staff to Tokyo, 12-13-hour flight. We went there and both of us got at the same time, Monday and Tuesday, 3 p.m. and went back to the hotel room to go sleep. dead on our feet, dead. They can't do any work. That jet lag can be brutal. So what I used to do is fly Friday to get there for Saturday, sleep all day Saturday and Sunday, and be okay for Monday morning. Right? You fly Friday, you get there Saturday, you sleep Saturday night, you sleep Sunday. Because I would try to pretend that I'm, you know what? It's very difficult. The jet lag can be a killer. Your body is shut down. And if you're going to fly from Africa here, you may have experienced some of that if you're not especially used to it. So, yeah. And he's not flying charter. Yeah, they don't fly charter. We don't have them. We don't have that kind of money there. We don't have that kind of money there. You know what? I should look that up. What's the flight time from Ghana to St. Louis? Because my flight time to Asia used to be like 12 hours, 13 hours. Flight time from Ghana to St. Louis, Missouri. I didn't know they have direct flights, actually. I don't know if they have direct flight. Because when I fly to India, we didn't have direct flights. We had United used to fly direct, but then they stopped, so you had to go to Middle East. I asked this thing for Ghana, I give him Guyana. Flight time from Missouri. I just put Missouri to Ghana. I'm looking it up. And enough money to, you know, people. Forget about that. Ghana to Missouri. It's 6,000 miles. So I don't know if this is right or not. This is from Google, so don't hold me on this. So the distance between Ghana and St. Louis is 6,040 miles. It takes approximately 19 hours and 48 minutes to get from Ghana to St. Louis, including transfers. There's no way he can play no football or fly Sunday. None. If he reaches Sunday, none in play football Monday. Not happening. Dead. It was a bad decision on his part. Bad decision. I don't know which one is easier, actually. I know when I fly from New York to Hong Kong or Tokyo, I know I struggle big time. Struggle. You would have to connect someplace. Normally, it depends what airlines he fly, right? Airline he flew, right? But I don't think he had passport issues. People, it's very hard to imagine two players having the same issue, same time, given facts and circumstances. That's hard when they weren't traveling together. They lose their passport together. Two of them lost their passport, different times, different place. Coach Steve, the coach Steve, yeah, he did now. See him work on him computer in him yard, and I go do no work. I don't care what I say. He feel like we're all idiots. Him just tell them, look at Caribbean people something and just believe it and move on. I think Bailey's face told had 1,000 words on it. 1,000 words. Now, I'm not saying Kadeem didn't lose his passport. I don't know if he did or not, but it's very hard to think two players, especially Antonio, given where he was. I don't know. Anyway, people, let me close on the program. I just realized I'm here 3.5 hours. Man, this is long. It didn't feel that long. And I was struggling tonight because TikTok gave me a hard time and got me all perturbed as usual. I was doing so well in that. So I'm gonna I get hard. One of my friends tell me how I get emotive on this program. I should be calm. And then I saw him get emotive, so I felt better. Because when people have misery, love company. But I appreciate you being here, people. It's been a good discussion. I didn't go through all the things that we think we should do for the team. But I think I've said enough. I am going to restrict my program about Reggae Boyz going forward because the window is going to be much longer between now and March. There's a much more things happening in sports. My Knicks are playing better. My Arsenal need to get better. Premier League, basketball. And by the way, people, please do me a favor. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the like button. If you have not subscribed to Balance View, people, I'm looking for 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 views on Balance View. You need to go over there and go subscribe. And then what I can do actually is start doing some of my social stuff on my Balance View because I want to do it on Cranky Live. Cranky Live should just be about sports. And some people tell me they don't want to hear about the other stuff. They want to hear sports. But if you don't do that, I'm going to do my social thing on Cranky Live and hope that you go over the Balance View. So if you haven't seen it, ever heard it, go to Balance View, hit the, we're not actually come over there and no liking it. Just hit the subscribe button. It's not going to cost you anything. And come over there, hit the subscribe button, and let me get up to my 4,000, my 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 views hours. And then I can do something like Burke has been asking me to do from ever, which I haven't done, right? I'll put up the balance view. Nothing put up Cranky Life. I'll just put the balance view. Go hit the subscribe button, man. I get to 1,000. We're at 150 now. I haven't spent a lot of time on it. Hit the balance view thing, subscribe to it. Me not only nothing, me not actually like anything. Because me get viewership on balance view, trust me. A lot more people want to talk social matters versus talking sports. I will get a lot of people on that channel eventually when it gets monetized. I'm not do it for free. So just go out there, subscribe. We're not pressuring you. You subscribe, it's all good people. We get to the 1,000 and we can go over to talk about real estate and investing, and we can go talk about paternity issue. Is he a poem tonight? Tell me if you don't like the poem or not. I mean, there's someone not here. Just talk sports cranky. I can go talk about social matters, whether it's Trump, whether it's Brogard, whether it's anything and everything, whether it's war in Ukraine and Middle East stuff. I want to do that. Thank you, Dre D. Appreciate it. So I want people to build up the channel, man. We get to 1,000 subscribers, I make 4,000 views. And then, if not even get 4,000 views, we get 1,000 subscribers, we can do a lot of programs there. I'm going to try to get more guests for that forum. Because for these forums, you probably need more players. A friend of mine promised me way back when some NBA player might get me on this program. They're not turn up. I mean, I hear nothing from him, so I leave him alone. Another person I know was supposed to be from ESPN, supposed to come on my program, promised me them I'll come, text them, then I'll come back. So I just say, I'm not pressure people. I just say, you know what? All right, just do my thing. Just do my thing. Me do most of the talking myself, because I like talk anyway. So subscribe people to Balance View. And if you haven't subscribed to Swanky Life, please do so. If you haven't hit that like button, please do so. All right? It's been a long evening. You've been a great audience. I appreciate you being here. You could be any place else. Some of you have been here for the 3.5 hours, which is a long time, people. This is my last show for the rest of the week. And I think I may be going back to New York next week, actually, before Thanksgiving. So I have a long ride in front of me. So I may not do any show next week, actually, because I may do a lot of driving. But I'll be talking about NBA. So I hope some of you follow those. I'll be talking EPL. I will be talking. I'm not going to do much NFL because I don't follow it as much as I used to. So I don't want to talk about something I'm not as informed about, but I do follow the NBA quite a bit. I do follow enough EPL. And maybe I'll start following the MLS because my friend get upset with me and says I'm an elitist when it comes to football and MLS is good. So who knows? Maybe I'll do that if people have an interest. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to do some real estate talking, actually. I'm going to do some real estate. That is the little I know because I dabble in it. I'm going to do some real estate talking about what you think about properties and plus other stuff. What you should buy, what return you should look for. And the market is, especially in the US today, is challenged. I think Jamaica is still getting another investment in real estate. So we talk about different subjects. We'll talk about the economy, a little bit about investing, a little about any and everything, criminal justice system, whatever it is, whatever topic you want us to talk about, we come talk about it. Doesn't mean I am informed on all of them, but I try to get people on who can talk about them. The state of reggae music, we can do that. Not that I'm an expert in that field, so we can have the conversation. So maybe you can educate me, right? Because what you call reggae music, I may just call noise. What you call reggae music, I may just say it's a lot of noise. I can't help to do with the noise. A lot of noise. So you never know, people. You never know. Your reggae music may be my noise and vice versa. Because what we tend to do in life, we have what I call sometimes recency bias, or we call old people bias. So those of us who grew up in a certain timeline, we think that's the only good music. And those who grew up outside our timeline think we're just hating. Right? We're just hating. So you never know, people. So we'll do that. But anyway, I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Bless up. Have a wonderful night. And I will see you when I see you. Good night. Bless up, people. Cranky Life is the best to be now. For the best sports talk and it's free, yo. Cranky Life will be your guiding light by keeping you informed both day and night. Cranky Life, tell them. Cranky Life, heed them. Cranky Life, want them. Cranky Life. From the courts to the field, we'll never lose because Cranky has the hottest news. With expert analysis, we break it down. Our in-depth coverage is best in town. Cranky Life, tell them. Cranky Life, heed them. Cranky Life, want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life where the sports is spicy and where we keep the discussion lively. cranky life. Get to know the name because cranky analysis is never lame. Cranky life. Give me my cranky life. I want my cranky life. Must have my cranky life. Whether it's football or track and field, you know cranky is at the wheel. So join the journey through victory and defeat and subscribe and don't miss a beat of cranky life. Tell them, cranky life. Heed them, cranky life. Want them, cranky life. If you're from England or USA, from Kingston or Bombay, from Kenya or Canada, Lagos or Havana, visit Cranky Live. Tune into Cranky Live. Like up Cranky Live. Subscribe to Cranky Live. Cranky Live coming to you on weekdays. Cranky Live sometimes on Sundays. Pull up a chair and take a seat because Cranky will always bring the heat. Cranky Live. Me say fi tell them Cranky Live. Me say fi eat them Cranky Live. On them Cranky Live. Cranky Life will be around. Cranky Life is the best in town. Me say fi eat them, me say fi want them, me say fi eat them, want them, eat them, want them. Cranky Life, cranky Life. Eat them, want them, eat them, want them. Cranky Life, cranky Life. Eat them, want them, eat them, want them, eat them, want them. Cranky life. Cranky life. Cranky. Eat them, want them, eat them, want them. Eat, want, eat them.